I feel like the Zongak and the pig story is more like a Thelma and Louise story.
Right.
And that boat was their canyon.
It sure was, unfortunately.
Or like the end of Devil's Rejects.
Oh yeah.
But the pig's just dancing.
Going straight to oblivion.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I'm very loud right now.
Going off the rails on a crazy train.
Sorry about that. There we go. For a minute there, thought I.
Blowing your mic to test it.
Yeah, but it was off. What is going on, Chocolate Taco Films?
Hi.
Hey everybody, I'm Soul Rose. These are my friends. Welcome back to our continuing game of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We're just gonna, let's just
Mellow episode today.
nice chill
Shopping episode.
laid back episode today.
Oh my god. Was anybody else upset? You probably not.
So, some quick announcements for everybody. We are doing a D&D related giveaway at 200 followers or 10 subs, whichever one comes first. So if that's something you're interested in, give us a
Because of
follow.
the game.
Or sub if that's something you're cool with. There's no Ambrosia today. I think we'll just keep with the theme of, some fucking for whom the bell tolls.
Maybe
right?
that would have been good the last session. If somebody drops a penny, it's like.
Well, I mean, maybe, but the Ambrosia recently has mostly been misfortune.
Yeah, like random or bad.
Yeah.
I say the whole last episode was misfortune.
We
Shout out to Huso for the 100 biddy donation last game.
I was gonna say we should have an Ambrosia one day that is just called lightning.
Just lightning strike.
And just lightning strikes.
Remember how that went for Lucrezia last time?
I know. That's why I want more.
So shout out to Huso for the 100 biddies. When we completed Monster Hunter yesterday, he donated 100 biddies as our victory reward.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we're not done. It goes on. The hunts continue. The shenanigans continues of our Monster Hunter game. But that was fun. We beat the game. So next time we'll be hunting
Stuff.
and things. Obviously.
Hunting monsters, maybe.
Maybe even monsters. Real monsters.
I don't know that we're allowed
They need to add in hitman contracts where you go out after somebody who's gone on a contract and you have to kill the person who's killing a monster. But then, and there'll be different contracts. One of them is just kill the guy or capture him in a trap or make it look like the monster killed him.
Make it look
so
like
you
an
have
accident.
so you have to paralyze him while he's getting attacked and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, people would hate it. Well, other people would love
It'd
it.
be like the Dark Souls, where
Make a
they just
PvP
come in and just
area.
kick the shit out of you
Yeah.
and run away.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess would that be better or worse than somebody just running in and dying 3 times and then ruining your hunt?
Well, that's kind of already a thing, yeah.
It'd be even better in the arena.
You can just ruin something.
No, you just come in and kill somebody in the arena. It's like they weren't even really fighting the monster.
They're
It's
just
like,
in there.
what?
So, what else we got? I think that's pretty much all the recap. That's all the stalling we can get into today. Ladies and gentlemen, any announcements? Anything you want to say?
I am building a supercomputer. Finally. So I have everything picked out. My computer is right now currently at home generating the new Windows 10 key so that I can have an update on the licensing software I already have. And so then I can talk to my coworker about. So basically, we get the new machine, install Windows 8 on it, and then upgrade 8 to 10 for free. And why?
I talked to you offline about it. It's a long, annoying thing.
Yeah. Well, my problem is that 8.1 doesn't work with any of the peripherals that I have. So it hates some of my keyboards, and it hates my really nice microphone that I own. I have a nice Snowball that I picked up, and it literally will not read on 8.1, but it reads fine on 10, which is some absolute bullshit.
Every time I just
maybe I'll get to use
start
these
thinking of
today.
that sexual thing where you...
Sexual thing. I don't think you need to explain.
When I hear Snowball,
Google it.
that takes a back seat
Oh, yeah.
to when I think Snowball. I always think of World of Warcraft and the fact that you can't name your pet cat Snowball because of that sexual thing.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're learning something new.
I want a star, and then the more you know.
Yeah.
Maybe in post.
Add it in post, editor. We don't
Yeah.
have an editor.
I don't know.
Do you want to be our editor?
me.
We need a person named Brian that just edits for
Jeffrey.
us.
We could just
Add in
invent one,
post.
and then that'll be his duty
Well,
position if we hire one.
It's one of the things that I love when I
need to
watch
verify.
YouTube videos and people are like, and then there'll be a big montage going on after this. Go, take it away, Bruce. And then just over their faces, it's just big text that says, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
It was, wow, what a montage.
Way to go.
Or like that one. There's was like a sketch that somebody did like a drawing, and they had their friend fill in for them to draw because they were sick, and he's telling the story, and then he's adding more elaborate shit for the guy to draw, and he's like, I had this dream that I was with all the Supreme Court justices from 1972, and
They
he's
were
like,
in stunning detail. Yes, that's Bill Cow. You should check it out.
yeah.
It said we should stop stuff.
Oh,
But Star
Are
Wars,
we
what
stalling?
do
Alright,
next?
so
Everyone's gone. I'm sorry.
a quick recap. It was a pretty harrowing episode last time. So, on board the ghost ship, the party attempted to recover within the captain's quarters. Less than an hour into their arrest, the party heard strange noises coming from outside the doors. The remnants of the skeleton crew from below deck had come up and... Yeah, I got it too. Had begun unluckily loitering outside the captain's quarter. The party attempted to shoo them away with some clever deceptions, but were unable to convince the rabble. The party fled the captain's quarters as Zongak distracted the skeleton group. A few of the skeletons took lucky swipes at Zongak and managed to skewer him through the deck of the ship. While the party floundered in an attempt to escape to contact the ship Advantage, no one was aware that Zongak was bleeding out. The party ended up jumping ship and was picked up by the Advantage, and while the party attempted to regroup on the deck of the Advantage, no one could have guessed that the ghost ship itself would wheel around and begin attacking the Vantage. In a violent display, the ship opened up like a great maw and revealed its true form to be a gargantuan mimic that began tearing into the Advantage. During the skirmish, and with no hope in sight, the party collected the escape boats, and with members of the crew on board, they fled.
Rocco with a host.
Oh, Rocco with the host.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
buddy. In a rash, last-minute attempt to attack the mimic by boarding it, Maw's poor luck caused him to collide with the side of the ghost ship to fall unconscious and vanish beneath the water's surface. The remaining party made it to shore as the ghost ship fled away into the night, having successfully smashed the Advantage to pieces and eat whatever crew was on board that it could find.
Pig.
Maybe.
And a side of bacon.
Pigs can swim really well.
But it was
They're
also
locked in
inside
a
of a metal
cage.
cage.
Yeah, but maybe the mimic broke the cage.
Maybe it
But if
did.
they look up, they'll
Also, maybe it's a floating kind of metal.
That one I'm less okay with, weirdly enough. Alright.
Maybe it survived on just enough ship that it can float.
Oh, maybe.
And there's just a cage with like a bottom chunk of hole, and it's just like.
So, we begin our story as the party was regrouping on the docks. The portmaster was very quickly starting to basically begin triage on the crew that was injured amongst you, along with the large crowd of old individuals and young children that were amongst the dock watching on in horror as the whole thing unfolded. They, in a stunned sort of fear, begin to kind of assist very, we'll say lethargically, due to their age. The kids just crying, weeping. So the whole dock is kind of alive right now in the middle of the night with wailing and screams, people, basically people talking in low voices. Some of the elderly are currently assisting the portmaster as he is basically gathering up the people that are injured and in a very practiced manner seems to know exactly what he's doing as they begin bandaging people up. What are you guys doing?
So we're just right there on the dock, right?
Right there on the
It's
dock.
literally just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
I am
Yes.
I'm not.
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
I'm not.
Kretzy is unconscious
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah, I know.
So yellow
just you.
means that I wasn't there.
There's a lot of yellow there,
Yes,
Lou.
the whole set.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna look around the buildings. What kind of buildings we got around me?
Sparse, spread out, old wooden buildings, mostly all homes at this point. This area doesn't have shops. It has a bar further in, but there's no, everything here is houses.
We got any alleys?
Oh yeah, big ones. There's large gaps between the buildings
Okay,
here.
cool.
Old construction,
Cool.
cobblestone bases, erected on top of which are old, worn houses that are warped and stained.
I'm gonna look around to see if anybody else made it out when I wasn't paying attention. Just look through, standing next to Lou, and just.
Looking at the people that are present, of the crew, no one of note seems to have made it out of the ship. You don't see the captain anywhere nearby. However, make an investigation check.
Happily. First check of the day. What kind of day is it gonna be, boys? What are you gonna give me? That's acceptable. Investigation, you said?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Or perception, whatever
get
one's
to my
higher.
perception. Oh. I have a gun. I have a sword. I should put these away.
Standing like
yeah.
a pirate.
Standing over her, like, ugh.
This wasn't me. This wasn't me. That's all right.
Okay. Put these in my pocket for later. All right. Investigation and perception. They're the same. 18.
18. Standing on the edges, of like kind of like all that sound just kind of like permeates the air. People screaming and shouting, crying. Some of the crews talking in like that quivering sort of voice. Spread out. You notice that there are a couple people gathered around in one area. That as you try to see what they're all gathered around, you do see the quartermaster Nidosa von Lote laying on the ground. She's unconscious, eyes are closed. Her like she seems to have like this acid that seems to have like eaten away at part of her. Her clothes are kind of like tattered and she's bloody and just kind of like a little bit trickling out the side of the mouth.
I have Lucrezia, right? I stole my weapons that I have that I found in my hands. Long day. And I'm gonna go to loot and I'm gonna think for a minute, and then I'm gonna get handsy, and I'm gonna search her. She has that hammer, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pull that hammer out. I'm gonna hold it up. I'm gonna think for a minute. I'm gonna try to activate it.
You have to take a short rest with it. It requires attunement. But
That's what I'm doing
As
at
you're-
the moment.
I'll
Yeah.
help you in 4 hours.
Hang tight.
Oh, that's really cute though.
so you hold on to it
Yeah.
for a bit. People begin kind of moving away as the crowd begins to thin out after a while as the spectacle kind of dies down.
What's going on in the water?
Right, the ghost ship is sailing its happy ass away.
Is leaving? Okay. I was worried it was going to come munch on the docks.
It's gonna be like Doc next.
Yeah, snack.
But,
Dessert.
Turns out it's got fucking like bug legs.
Yeah, the mimic will become a
Ew.
shark and pretend to be a shark.
Maybe.
And
That
then
would be
underneath it's
really
like
weird.
a-
It's like a ditto shark, you know? It's just got
Yeah.
like the little beady eyes. Like,
With the fucking flat line.
And it has a
Yeah.
flat line here, but the mouth
Yes.
opens like down here,
Yes.
so it still has the
More
mouth flat on the
terrifying.
face. That sounds horrifying,
Yeah.
actually.
it's
Yeah.
not, not actually moving, it's just floating straight.
You're welcome. See you in your nightmares.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Is there a place where the wounded are being drugged?
they seem to be just be drawn inland off the dock into like the cobblestone ground, but not right now. After a few moments, and the quartermaster seemingly, or the portmaster seeming to get kind of frustrated at like what's going on, he kind of like stands up very angrily, just seeing like the kind of mess, and he's like, "Does anyone have a home we could use?" And one of the older gentlemen's like, "Yeah, come with me," and then begins like trouncing off very slowly. But they begin kind of like carting up the people that can't move under their own power and begin dragging them away.
I'm gonna take the hammer, swear at it quietly, and then I'm gonna put it back where I found it on her.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna grab her arm and fireman carry her over the top of me. Bunk.
Monk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna follow the old man.
All right. So you're led through the streets further inland, closer to more like the center area of the town, like the main kind of thoroughfares. It's almost like a tic-tac-toe board, the way that this like whole like little area is set up, but it like sparses out the further you get away from the coastline. And he leads you into a moderate-sized home, maybe 700 some square feet. 2-story, however. It does go upstairs. It's a very like small box on top of a small box. He fumbles with his key. Unlocks the door. Heavy, lock falls, and then he pushes the door open, and then he lets everybody in. This a small waiting room, mostly with wooden furniture, seems to await the interior. Small chimney or fireplace in the backside. And as they begin carting people in, he's like, "Oh," and then he starts grabbing like linens from the closet to try to like put over some of this so the blood doesn't stain all over his house. But that's about it. Yeah, people begin kind of funneling in.
I'm gonna pick a quiet corner. I'm gonna set Lou up in the corner, head raised, and then I'm gonna look at her and go, "I think you're supposed to elevate their Nah, she looks more comfortable. And I'm gonna leave her just sitting
Okay.
slumped like a
Slumped in
dead
the
guard
corner.
in a prison.
Right.
Um,
Oddly specific frame of reference.
yeah. I mean, every dungeon crawl I've ever played has that card.
Right, that one guy.
Yeah, it's just in there.
I got
There's Wilhelm.
Jaw open and askew.
Usually scream.
Yes. And then I'm going to post up next to her, and I'm just gonna rack out.
Okay, so you just kind of like sit down, the eye begins to kind of flutter, and then done. Okay, so that is where you fall asleep.
Yeah.
So,
What the fuck just
sorry, there was
Yeah.
a moment of pause. In your darkened state, sleep,
I want
it's like,
an organ sting right now.
no, you know what? Completely just jarring. You go from like kind of somber to
Yeah.
and then suddenly
The whole picture spins.
Yeah.
Just
We'll do that in the VOD.
Just a sleepy eye now.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, add in post.
You feel pain, cold, not really fear. There's this emptiness, almost like you're floating in space. Everything kind of, all the sounds around you. Sounds like that actually. Strangely enough, as I punch the microphone, this sort of like echoing boom, drowned out but kind of ambient and all around, just. And then you feel a strange like pull, like your whole body's being pulled to one direction, and you're not sure if you're going down or up. But at first, you kind of feel yourself sinking for a moment, being pulled under the current of the waves. And while you're not completely sure of where you are, you remember everything that is happening in like flashes, these like brilliant flashes of fighting on the deck of the ship, ghost pirates, skeletons, and then suddenly a massive mimic. Before you feel a strange twinge in your leg, and you think, all right, like I've probably been eaten now. As you're unsure, but you just kind of like float there, and then you feel this pressure on your leg, and it feels like to get tighter and tighter, like something squeezing. But it doesn't wake you. It's just there. It's almost like, all right, this is what's happening now. Like I'm in the in between, and you're slowly just feeling everything kind of rush by. Before, as they rest, morning comes, and it stings. The light burns on the side of your face as you just kind of like come to. There's a brief where your entire all the oxygen kind of expels out as you realize that your nose and your mouth had closed off almost naturally, or natural to your new form, as it seems to have basically suffocated you before you could inhale any real water. But you and you have sand all in your face, and you're kind of like, you're in pain all over, your leg hurts immensely, and what's strange is you're kind of like trying to like open your eyes, there's blurriness, you see a sort of figure kind of vanish outside of your view, and you hear this, and then kind of like jars you awake a little bit. What are you doing?
Feign sleep.
Okay.
And slitted eyes. Try to see. Wait for it to adjust and then see what I can see without moving.
Can he close his eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
You can close them twice.
Yeah.
Yep. So you kind of like try to stay inconspicuous
Yes.
as you look, and you see the silhouette, and it's kind of small and dumpy, almost round in shape. And as you kind of like your eyes finally adjust, you see this wide-brimmed, toothy maw in the front of this thing. Scale, like blue scales. It's got big, large, like bass eyes on either side of its head, and it's kind of standing there in ratty clothing that's kind of like haphazard and falling apart. And its hands are currently perched on the edge of its bottom jaw, and it's just like.
Right, well then, seeing that, I'm gonna come to and say, Zongak, why are you in new color?
It looks down at you,
And then try to get up.
and it like steps back away from you as you start to get up, and you just notice that there's just this singular, rattly dressed fish man just kind of like holding the bottom jaw, and it's kind of like drooling a little bit on the side as it's looking at you. And it's
down
like,
its arms.
I wanna eat him. I keep need him. Are you a lizard? You're a lizard?
No, well, I mean, I didn't know. I don't know.
as you say no, and it's looking at you, it seems gone. It's like it just cannot process because it sees lizard, and you're not a lizard.
Yeah,
What do you do?
I know.
And it's just standing there, and it's like,
Can I eat you?
No.
Ah. Not supposed to eat him. Not gonna eat him.
I have a backpack. So, what's your name?
Griggle.
Wriggle.
Look.
I'm Ma.
one eye blinks.
Where am I?
He looks down.
Yep.
Wherever you go, there you are.
You take a minute to take stock of your surroundings as this thing just kind of stares at you. And you get the sense it's like it leans in a little bit, and then it leans back a little bit. Like it's having an internal struggle. Like, is it supposed to eat you, or is it not supposed to eat you? It doesn't know yet,
Fair enough.
but it's confused.
It's hard not to.
Alright, what's the general area? Beach, maybe an island of some manner?
It is all beachin', and you notice that further down you see the outside edge of the private beach where the Duke's private beach is.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be a little bit further off from you, and then beyond that you can see the actual port town, almost like a smaller speck in the distance, maybe a couple miles down the way.
Okay. So not in the private beach.
You're not, you're past it. So basically it's intersecting where you need to go
Yeah.
or where you need to be.
Okay. So there's no trees or anything in the immediate vicinity then?
No, you're basically looking at sandy beaches that go up into a cliff face that's roughly somewhere over 80
So
feet tall.
the north is the private beach, and then so what's the other direction from that?
Just open. Just keeps going for a while.
Because it's that private beach, and then more beach, and then eventually the port.
Okay.
You're on the opposite side of the private beach from that port.
Okay. Griggle. Have people seen you before?
No.
Okay.
Master doesn't want to see him.
Oh, Master.
That's supposed to be seen.
Master.
Let's pull out the street.
Suddenly becomes a
He
bar.
pulls out his loot.
Oh, I got a song. No. I'd love to give you some food, but you can't be seen. We're at an impasse here. How about this, Wriggle?
Oh.
Nice. Where do you stay? I'll go get some food and come back.
Under the water.
That's a lot of water out there.
No, not really. Not really.
Is there anything nearby that I could mark?
Not really.
He points at the. He seems to be pointing like closer towards the port. He's like pointing towards that direction. And strangely, he's actually pointing at land. He's not pointing in the water.
Okay. Well, Griggle, I'll be back with some food, and I'll meet you there.
Make a persuasion check.
I'll point that way.
Or a deception check. Don't tell me which.
Until Griggle beats it.
No. Nice.
Oh, he's good. So intuitive.
Yeah, but they are the same. It's gonna be 20.
20. He looks at you and he's like,
Okay.
just stares at you.
Was that a persuasion not to bite him?
No,
Persuasion to convince him that he's going to get food and come back.
Okay.
He's gonna get, as long as I can find wherever the fog of air is. Alright. I'll see you, and I'll point that direction there.
Okay.
And I'll start making my way towards the private beach.
He begins following you.
Oh, no.
That's good too.
Just walking behind you like, I'll meet you over there.
Alright.
Like, So you begin heading back towards the beach. It's a long jaunt, and eventually you find yourself separated from the other side by a very large stone wall that's been erected. But along the beach, you see average signs of, the occasional little crab that scurries off into the water. Nothing big.
After the first crab, if I see a second, I would like to catch it.
Okay.
Probably with magic. Because I imagine that gives me just enough distance, so I'd like to try constrict on one.
Sure. Go ahead and make an attack roll at advantage. We'll see if you grab one.
Natural 19 plus.
Yeah, then that little crab guy.
27?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're, I'm guessing, tentacle?
Yep.
The little tentacle comes up, smashes the top of it rather violently. There's a crack sound as it kind of impacts, and the thing just stops moving.
And it's great. Food?
He puts like your whole arm in his mouth.
Ah!
And then he goes,
Does it feel good?
and then he just starts very loudly crunching it
He could
between
make a
his,
brothel.
You give him,
his between his teeth.
you give him a crab.
I did give him a crab.
You realize his mouth is very like fishy feeling, like when you hold the inside, it's just like weirdly like plasticky feeling, slimy, little ridge-like teeth.
Gross. I put my hand inside a fish before, I don't like it.
That's a different show.
Hot soggy waffles.
Hot soggy waffle.
It's there.
How can
There's
I
nothing
my way down
posted,
the
but it's
private
there.
beach?
He just keeps following you around. You're gonna walk around the private beach,
Yep.
or are you gonna try to? Because you gotta go in the water. The wall actually goes into the water.
Yeah, I'll
So you have to go back in the ocean.
go back in the ocean and just try to not be. I don't want to be the bad guy.
Right. So you're going around it.
Yeah.
All right. So you take the long way around. You swim around very belabored and slow. Your leg seemingly still, and you realize as you look down that you have his jaw-like teeth that he drug you up on
Oh,
shore.
okay. I thought you like no,
And
not
he wasn't eating you, but he seemed to have like collected you.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize like the throb, and you're like, and there's a good chance that he might have dropped you a couple times and had to grab you again because the whole leg hurts. Like it's not just a single piece.
Alright.
And he just keeps like, as you guys get in the water, he just swims very like instead of walking very awkwardly, he begins like swimming very like naturally, and you kind of keep up with your ability to swim as well. And he's like, but it's weird because occasionally as he's like, you see this like this glimmer in his eye, like predatory. As your guys are like wee, and he's like, ah! You're like, whoa, just kidding. But there's some kind of struggle happening as you guys like come back on land. He like begrudgingly kind of gets out of the water. He stand there for a minute, and he's like, begins coming up towards the water.
I'll wait for him.
He comes out eventually, and he's just like looking at you with like this dopey wide face, like.
Let's go get you some food, bud. Start making my way towards town.
So you guys begin walking towards the town. By morning, Mr. Theta, you come to feeling better, a little rested, so you can take your long rest. No.
I'm never gonna get to play D&D again.
You got 3 days of unconscious at least. This is anime logic. No, I'm kidding.
So
Until somebody does something that like can rouse you.
Well, hold on now.
You're not sleeping.
Hold on now. That's only 3 days if she's an important main character.
Is my hair different color?
Suddenly pink from the encounter. Instead of turning white from the encounter, it turns pink.
you have a subscriber.
Nice. Damn it! Somebody did it. Somebody did it. What did you do?
I don't know, but somebody did, and it wasn't me.
Very nice.
That's not for here.
Anyway, so what's going on? What
What are you
happened?
waiting for?
You see that kid in Incredibles? Something amazing, I guess. Sorry. So I'm gonna get up. I'll look around, make sure nobody stole anything off of us.
Excuse me.
And I'm gonna look around and see what the state of this building is in, like what, like the people and etc.
The people in are. They seem to be in various states of dress. They've all been bandaged up for the most part. You notice that the portmaster's gone. You don't see Nadosa or a couple of the other guys that were in here earlier. You don't really see wandering about. But you do notice, you do get this smell of food coming from the kitchen as the old man seemingly stands over like a big, iron pot, and he's just kind of like, seems to be making some kind of like porridge or stew.
I'll get up then, and I'll pat Lucrezia on the head, and I'll walk over to the man who's in the kitchen, and I'll walk up to him.
He, as he's like stirring, and you kind of like walk up. He can hear you, but it takes a minute for his little head to careen. He looks away. Morning.
Hello. Is there a healer about?
Oh, healer. We like the magic kind.
Maybe. I need someone who can rouse my friend. She's been unconscious for probably way too long. I hear it's bad for you.
Oh, well, He's like furrows his brow for a minute. We don't really have, anywhere that says that there's a... I'm trying to check to see if there's a church up here. I'm pretty sure there is. But I want to make sure before I lie to you.
If there's a church, I'll go fuck yourself. Just kidding, not really.
Legendary god who doesn't care.
It's a very long time for a church.
It's the Church of it's the what is it? The Methodist Church of GFY.
There's a temple. I don't know if the father could help you.
It's Temple of whom?
Oh gosh, it's
Temple
one of
of
them. Oh, it's the big one. Oh
Is it Sedla?
no,
Oh.
no.
All
The
right.
big one. Oh my, we don't really have many followers around these parts, but Padre just stands in there alone and talks to people that come through most of the time. Doesn't really do worship. Just kind of an old.
Is he a priest? Is he a cleric? Is he a paladin? Is he?
Well, I don't know about all those things. He's a father, that's for sure.
He has children?
No, it's a name for a. It's another name for a priest,
Oh,
I guess.
but you have a father.
Yes.
Is he a priest?
No.
You called him father.
Correct. Oh, I called him Papa. Can you say it with a straight face?
Big papa.
Fuck you, you're unconscious.
When you called him Big Daddy.
Another thousand guy called him Big Daddy.
Mm-hmm. It's a wordplay.
I don't understand the rules of the game.
Yeah, me neither.
What are you making?
Make it stew. Cause he's like still kind of stirring it, but he's like looking at you, and he hasn't been looking at it for a while.
Okay. Are there any storefronts down here? Are there anybody who sells any like potions or perhaps like a hedge witch or
Ocean's your best bet's Griselda.
back up in the main city?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is mostly just for where the dock workers go, and we have a little pub. But if you really want any amenities, you got to go up to the main city. We don't really. We send the little ones up there. It's a long walk up the hill. Back when my son was here, before he went in to go fight, he used to do all the basic walking around, and and Sunday mornings he'd go and he'd pick up the. He just starts like rambling basically.
Theta will nod politely
There's
until
no
he finishes.
You know better.
He actually surprising. There's a moment where like he gets like a little like a hiccup kind of thing going. He's like, and then he looks back at his stew and it's kind of like there's a weird pause where he doesn't finish the sentence. But
I'm going to take out a silver piece
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to place it on the counter next to his stew. And I'm going to say, my friend is in the corner. Please see that she's not disturbed except by someone who's a healer. Have a wonderful day.
I have a question here. I don't know if the rules apply, but I'm looking at it. It says if you're stabilized, you gain 1 hit point after 1d4 hours.
Ooh.
And then once you regain a hit point, you're not unconscious anymore. I don't know if that's if that is how it goes up in your group.
I would say that after you can regain 1 hit point, I'll allow it.
After Like how?
after your long rest.
Oh, everyone.
So as Theta's talking, you up to 1.
I'm
Okay.
gonna put the silver down. I'm gonna turn around and see her. Oh, you're alive! That's
As
good.
you turn around, you just kind of see the fluttering eyes.
Yeah. Well, come on, get up. I was where you were yesterday. Come on.
Ouch! Oh.
I'm gonna help her up.
Okay, so you pull her up.
Yeah. Let's go.
You're not a skeleton.
No. Well, if skeleton is architecture, then I'm more skeleton than I am.
No. Where are we?
We're in an old man's house. What's your name, old man?
As you as you say it, turn. Perks up. Frederick.
Ah, Frederick. Nice to meet. I'm Theta. This is Lucrezia. She's had a bad day. She's gonna have a worse one in a minute.
Well, soup's on in a minute.
Would you like some soup?
Is he making it on the ship?
No. Both ships are gone.
What do you mean? Like they put it away?
Kind of.
What are you talking about?
We'll get there. Let's get you some soup.
I don't know if I want that soup. What soup is it?
I don't know, but you're gonna eat it
Okay.
because you're a grateful guest. And
Alright.
because you're almost dead. Eat the soup.
I'm gonna take stock. I mean, I know I feel like shit, but I'm gonna like take stock of
Your hammer's crooked in its hanger.
of like the cuts and bruises and shit.
All right. So you're all just taking a minute to check out how busted up you are. Fair enough.
Answer is pretty.
Yeah. Pretty well. Obviously, exactly all but -1 hit point worth. So.
You didn't have to get me it!
On a
I
scale
just
of-
read the things!
Scale of 1 to 40, you're at a 1 right now.
Apparently I'm at like half of one.
Ooh no.
39.
Maybe someday we'll get there. I'm to full hit points again.
I'm gonna go over so she doesn't have to get up. And I'll lean her against the wall since she's standing. Oh, there you go.
There you
And
are.
then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get a bowl from the dude.
Is there a chair?
He begins pouring
I
out.
think that the wounded but like broken leg people are.
He hands you 2, one for you, one for her.
Oh, that's
Kind of like he doesn't.
I guess that's polite. I'm gonna take the one to her.
And then he begins pouring them out, and you see him kind of like walking around handing them to. I mean, it's a basic porridge. It's got vegetables and some meat cut up in there.
Hunk.
Less meat than it is vegetables, but it's salted, which is
Hey,
that's good.
salt's decent.
So he's busting out he's got company for the first time in a while.
I'm just gonna hunk and then I'll go back over and hand him the bowl. Thank you.
He nods and sets it off to the side. Begins kind of going back to kind of tending it. He's
Yeah.
going around and he's handing out bowls to everybody that's kind of like laying around. Like you can hear the whole house begin to fill with like these belabored groans as people kind of come to injured.
Do I recognize these people as having been on the Advantage at all?
Yes.
Okay.
You recognize you've seen him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I rode over.
You were on the ship for a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do recognize most of them being on the Advantage.
Did the boats like hit each other?
Kind of.
Did they like come help us on the boat? Why are they all messed up?
They came to us. Let's not talk about it in a room full of mortally or semi-mortally wounded people.
Okay.
It's probably depressing for them. I've heard that for sailors that the ship is their life. And if that's true, then these men don't have lives anymore. So, I said that. I said both ships are gone. I mean, that's half true.
That's a euphemism. Not true.
I'll, like,
Say no
I'll
more.
sip
Eat
on
your
my
porridge.
soap soup as we're as we're sitting
soap.
here.
Gave you the wrong bowl. Deal with it.
It's just foam coming out.
How long have we been back for?
8 hours and maybe a half hour or an hour beyond. It's morning now.
I feel like I slept.
I mean, I don't know how sleep works for you. I know that I go down and then I come back up, and that's about the same. And that's basically what happened to you, just a little more violently.
I'm gonna keep sipping the soup.
Okay.
I'm gonna look around for like Juan, Zongakin.
For anyone.
Yeah. Anybody we recognize.
You actually don't see Ma, Zongak, or Ra.
Where's everybody else?
I will get to that.
I'm too tired to fight you, so I'm just gonna drink my
And
soup.
that's the goal. I will continue to be obstreperous until you have food in you, and then we're going to go on a hike, which will be
Yay! That's what
bracing.
everybody wants to do after they've been injured. Are we still in Galerin?
Yes.
Okay.
Back in Galerin, technically. We went out to the water.
International waters there for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Gotta go feed the griffins.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have those, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
So a little soup.
Soup and walk,
Soup,
kind of.
soup.
Well,
And then-
I don't know if I'm not gonna walk until the soup is fed.
Yeah.
And then we'll
I'm
get
not gonna steal this old man's bowls.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Not yet.
I mean, I'll kill him for his bowl, but I won't steal it from him.
He has to
I have
fight
no
for it.
need for bowls. Don't look at me like that.
Sorry.
But if I needed a bowl,
It would be on the table.
Yeah,
it's just easier.
we soup it
I
up,
can have all
DM.
of them.
Soup it up,
stream.
and then you set the
Describe this soup.
Yeah.
it's delightful.
And then it
watery.
to be watery.
It is watery,
Thin.
salted.
Is it a beef broth or a chicken broth?
Broth.
Okay.
Small pieces of meat, but they're sparing within.
It's
Mostly,
a vegetable broth.
mostly like
Yeah.
like
In that it
celery,
was water, and
carrots,
there are vegetables in it.
some onions in there. So yeah,
Okay.
he pulled out all the stops for you, but
Nice.
you return the bowl, and then you guys exit out of the house.
Head out, and we're gonna head back up towards the city and ultimately Griselda's.
I'm gonna check, like, panically check for my stuff.
Okay.
Oh.
You seem to have your belongings on you,
Plus a pack.
plus Zongak's pack with all his magic items.
You had it. It was on your body, so
Oh, like,
yeah.
on me.
it was
I'm
easier.
gonna look through to see if I recognize who shit this is.
Yeah, Zongak's.
Oh.
It's got
Yeah,
weird.
it's just everything's poured in, and
Yeah, there's depth is in there. Assail is not in there. But yeah, his magic items are
Are
in
we,
there.
is his money in there?
Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
it was it's in a separate purse actually inside
We're
because we
gonna,
got that for him, so he wouldn't have a pile of money in his
we're
backpack.
gonna go, eat some of this stuff.
We'll get to that.
Alright. Well, we should feed, what time is it?
Hmm?
What time is it?
You're looking at probably around like 9 in the morning.
It's 5 minutes past 9 o'clock in the morning.
Do we have time to go feed the griffins first?
I mean, we've got time for anything. I figured we'd get you a potion to kind of pep you up a little bit, and then maybe get an expensive room or a pile of hay somewhere and sleep you off for a bit so that you feel better.
Did we get paid?
Not yet.
Okay.
Our pay is being held back in Alava in Batella. Remember?
What about for the ship?
Oh, we haven't talked to the Duke yet.
Okay. Let's go feed some
I
griffins.
have not lied.
I'm gonna stand up and like
Question.
shake my stand. Yeah.
I don't know how you're feeling, but I know that previously, after you fed your griffins, you've come home with wounds on your hands, and I am worried that in your current state of shock, one of those wounds might prove fatal. So perhaps we should see the potion maker first.
I'm getting a bit less wounds.
Less
yeah,
is
you're
not
right.
none.
Yeah, you're right. Is there a potion
And I have
maker
dragged you
here?
far enough today.
Thank you. for
Yesterday.
dragging me.
It's today. No, it's a new day. Yes. So the only one is the crazy old woman in the junk shack. So
To the
that's
junk
it.
shack.
Indeed, the junk shack.
Okay.
16 miles to the end of the road.
So you guys make your way out of the port side and up the switchbacks that make up the cliff, basically the cliff path that goes up to the main city.
Mhm.
And about 300 yards from the actual town, you find yourself walking. It is an arduous process, even for both of you. This sort of like fatigue
Yay.
state, as you're like it's a slog, one foot after the other, and there's that midpoint where you just think about just going back down and just saying fuck it.
Or maybe I'll sleep here.
Yeah, and then but each foot kind of just one at a time. You make your way back up, and you find yourself heading towards the main city on the eastern road that leads into through the little thicket, and then that leads straight to the.
Or just beeline for Griselda's.
Okay, so you head straight in, and have you been to Griselda?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I was the first one there.
I
So you
have
head
not.
to.
I don't think.
So you head to Griselda's. You find that as you approach that sign that was the potion or the cauldron sign is missing. Presumably the kids came out and took it. Maybe changed the words.
Oh shit. I gotta get.
But you find people are kind of maneuvering around. There's a lot of chat going on amongst the townsfolk as they talk about this monster
I
that
want to
attacked.
make a point to try and move quickly past those people talking.
They seem to be just chittering about
I'm
that.
not.
Yeah.
The mimic attack, or the ship turning into a monster and basically attacking. As you find yourself outside of Griselda's, the door is currently cracked open. You
Knock and push it open as I knock.
As you do, you look around and you see that same sight. The
Madame.
stuff kind of just strewn about in random piles, kind of throughout the whole thing. And as you do, you hear this.
Hello, Griselda. Up here. I'll look around for a pot.
For a pot.
Yeah, like a cooking pot.
You look around, make an investigation check.
Yep.
Do you want to buy one?
Nope.
Oh, I see. No.
Investigation is 19.
19. As you
Hold on. Damn it.
yes, you.
All right, there we go.
As you look around, you think you see a gleam underneath, like like an explorer's pack kind of assortment, and you just flip it over, and there's you pick it up and
Cool. I take my hand, hold it up, and knock on it.
clang,
like
clang,
four
clang, clang, and you hear
times.
this. What? Hello?
Hello.
And then
I'm gonna
from
put the pot away immediately.
from the side, she kind of like comes out. She's in a nightgown looking thing, and she seems to have been sleeping around the corner. Her one kind of like larger eye like blinks at you, and she's like, "Hey,
Hello.
hello."
Do you have any healing potions?
Let me see.
He rolled a 0. Oh. Fuck.
I know I have raw money.
You're fine.
Oh.
She begins. I have some over here. And she begins to kind of like knock some stuff out of the way. You see, like she like picks up like a pickaxe and just hucks it into another corner, and she's like, somewhere in here. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. I think I might have been sold out of them. I swear they're in this pile.
Oh.
They're not there now.
I want to try taking a look around for them.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
You've been doing good. I'm just gonna switch you up for a moment.
It's like, I'll betray you then.
18.
18. Looking around, you begin kind of peering over her shoulder, and you begin kind of rifling through some stuff. You push over some things, and you hear this faint like, to which you pull out two, almost like what are those called? Like hexagon almost style, like vials. They're
the
thick.
old school flat pane test tube
And
looking
you
ones?
find like two of them, and you're like, they're different colors though.
I'm gonna turn around and
And she's like, yeah, probably.
Probably.
how much?
And that one looks like familiar to me. Why does that one look
Why
familiar
is
to me?
the other one not? It's in your
I
store.
don't know what that one is. Well,
How much?
100 gold, 50 and 50.
Can you guarantee what they are?
Well, I can guarantee that one will make you breathe fire.
I feel like if you don't know, maybe they should be less.
50 gold.
For
What
the
does it
total.
do?
That one I'm not so sure about anymore. It's been a while.
I think because we're looking for a very specific effect.
I can guarantee it won't kill you.
I don't know.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God.
Can I insight that, please?
Good. Good.
I'm curious if she is telling the truth.
Oh no, you can't.
She is telling the absolute
She is.
truth. I will give her 50
No,
gold.
no.
150 gold.
I
She's
rolled a
like,
fucking 1.
thank you.
Oh, beta.
Stacks it up. She goes and walks to the back. You hear her rummaging around in like a lockbox that you realize was just behind the counter.
Wait, did
She
you pay
shakes
for-
it. It's like shink, 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 and then she like opens it. That's the money.
Did you only pay for the one that you
Yeah, I didn't get
recognized?
that fire breathing one. No, I paid for the one she didn't recognize because she said it wouldn't kill you, and she promised.
Yeah, but what about the? What was the one that you recognized?
That was fire breathing.
That one I breathe. Yeah, you breathe fire. That's fun.
Great pot to drink.
Alright.
Do you know anything about potions?
No.
Oh, better drink it then.
I'll drink it. I'm
What?
gonna lose my hit point. No. Please, Jesus, no.
Or you might grow twice in size.
What are you looking for?
Little
How
house.
do you know?
Oh, I love it. This is why it sucks to roll insight checks.
This is why it's fun.
What's my insight? Yeah, even with my modifier, it was a 2.
Yeah, let's see here.
Oh no.
I don't understand people. Honestly, it really is. You know what? You're doing God's work. Cog's work.
he's doing narrative work
He's doing
today.
Cog's work.
Yeah, it's Cog's work.
Honestly,
Hey.
praise. I know, right? He's got...
Cog. He's blessed by Cog. What are you rolling for?
Man, he's going through a lot of pages for this potion. I'm sure it's just a regular healing
I don't
potion.
think so. Am I gonna feel any better? That's the problem.
Maybe. It would potion of giant strength.
It's
Just
a base-
randomly-
flying.
Am I gonna turn into a lizard man now?
It also might be like a wild magic potion.
What?
That would be fun.
It just does like 3
Yeah,
things to
funny,
you.
funny.
That would be fun. 3 rolls in the
If he's
fun.
rolling
That'd
on
be
a 100
cool.
table.
How old is Lucrezia?
Oh man!
Not a high enough level moment.
This day sucks. 23.
You're 23?
Not anymore, you're not.
13.
Oh my god, did I turn into a child?
23
I can't
going
drink.
on 13.
Oh man, what the fuck
So
happened?
as you watch,
Oh.
your hit points are regained.
Hey!
Hey!
2 full.
Because there's less. of
Okay, okay.
And as you watch, her vitality begins to return. The wounds begin to disappear off of
Hey!
her skin. And her skin takes on this youthfulness to it. And she just feels like more energetic. And suddenly you begin to watch as she kind of shrinks a little bit. Starts to get a little bit smaller. And as you watch, she gets a little bit
Do I
smaller.
see this happening?
No, to you. I mean, everything seems to be getting a little bit bigger to you. You think it might be a side effect of that potion that you just
One's going
No!
a little
Tripping
wobbly.
balls! Is anything getting bigger?
took. And so, Lucrezia, she's 16 now.
I can deal with that.
She just.
Yeah, we can.
Holy fuck!
Hey, look,
Here.
you're healed.
Puberty.
How do you feel?
I feel really good. I feel way
Your
better.
voice sounds different.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Maybe just from like the potion.
I remember it as a feathers now.
Ah, shit.
You do
Oh,
notice
shit.
you notice your clothes are surprisingly
I
smaller.
don't have armor on,
Very
so
ruby.
I just have clothes.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Now it's a peasant's
Did I
blouse.
shrink? Yeah.
Before it was a
it's
regular
lumpy.
blouse.
I'm gonna like adjust the shoulders. Put my pack on.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah.
Was that a percent or an amount
What do you mean?
that she lost? Just out of curiosity.
Age-wise?
Yeah,
This
for
is a
mechanics.
solid number.
Solid number. So I wouldn't even notice.
While she was getting younger, did her hair go through like weird phases? As she
It stayed the same.
Oh yeah.
Suddenly it's red for like.
You are a little bit more youthful.
Yeah. I feel really good. That was a good
Wow.
healing
I have to
potion.
use a
I
bathroom.
know.
to
If
start.
anything, I'd say
Well,
that
don't
lengthen
use
your
it
life.
now!
I
Gotta go. You
No,
guys
it's
gotta.
fine. No, it's fine
I
because I
can't
talk
take them
this
amongst
time.
myself.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Discuss
because
things.
now that you look better.
Yeah, I feel way better.
Hey, wait! Before you, hey, DM, is there a chair in this place?
Yeah.
Okay,
A couple stools.
okay. I'll grab a stool and knock anything that looks not breakable off of it, and I'll bring it over, and I will set
So
this stool
live.
down. Okay, well that's cool.
Gonna
But sit
sit
on
on my
this.
hammer. Oh, okay. Alright.
So, there's good news and there's bad news.
Great, that's the good news.
Yes, there's that as well.
And we're gonna get paid soon. That's really
Okay,
good.
so the good news is that the ghost ship is gone.
Oh, good. So we succeeded?
No,
Okay.
that's part of the bad news. There's a lot. I probably didn't present this properly.
Okay.
There is more bad news than there is good news, as there
We're not
typically
gonna
is in
get
these
paid,
situations.
are we?
We might get paid. I don't know what the stipulation of the contract was. I can't remember, even though I'm the only one he told.
Okay.
It's in here somewhere, but I can't be bothered to recall it. So,
Important thing to remember. Hold on. Okay.
I
Alright.
need you to breathe.
Okay.
Okay.
Get this out of the way. Okay.
I know, it's fine. I'm
Okay.
trying to figure this out.
How to human?
I don't know how to say this.
Okay.
I mean, I do know how to say this, but there are insensitive ways and sensitive ways. So I'm going to go with the way that seems best to me.
Did you kill the griffin?
Zongak and Ma are dead.
What are you talking about? We're just gonna go meet him on town. You said we're gonna meet him with the stuff.
No, I said we'll get to that later. The reason you have Zongak's stuff is because Ma needed something out of it, and then he charged off to his death.
What are you talking about? How did they die?
Zongak got stabbed by a skeleton,
Okay.
and then he got stabbed by a skeleton again.
Well,
And then he got stabbed by a skeleton again. Then he fell down. Then he got stabbed by 2 skeletons. Then all of his blood fell out on the top deck of the ship. At that point, there were skeletons everywhere. They were mobbing everyone. I didn't quite see what happened to you, but you went down.
Before you finish, I'm going to insight check you to see if you're lying.
Okay.
I know it
Try
doesn't
it.
really matter. I know. But, okay.
15?
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
7 on my end, and let me see, because my deception is a +0,
Are
but
you-
my persuasion is also a +0, so that's a 7.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 20.
Yeah, so you
Yeah, you
you
know
get that he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just go stabilize him. I got the healer's thing.
So it happened over the water,
Okay.
and Zongak was on the advantage. Because we flagged it over to us, because we were outnumbered. I dove off the ship.
Yeah, Andy.
I dove off the ship. This is probably a small animal trapped under a pile of rubbish here.
So it was like, so you heard it too?
Yes.
Somewhere in here.
So I dove off the ship because I was nearly dead after the first altercation. We tried to rest in the captain's quarters and it didn't work. So Zongak was very brave and he drew the skeletons away so we could exit. I went up to assist Zongak, but they already had him down, and a single hit would have killed me. So I dove off the back of the ship with a barrel, and you and Ra stayed on the ship, and Ma jumped off, and Ra flagged down the advantage, and the advantage came over. Because I don't know if you remember this, we did not plan well. The only signal we set up with the advantage was ship's clear, come on over. So they brought over the whole big ship, and they got to us. And there were skeletons everywhere still because we killed the captain, and that went okay. I got his stuff, which is neat. So the advantage came over, and we were trying to float over to it to get away because I figured skeletons jump in the water and another swim with, they'll just sink and if I stay on the boat. So we get up onto the boat, and then as we get up onto the boat, we notice that it's turned in. There's nobody at the helm, but it's a ghost ship, so that's not.
As you're talking, I'm
unusual.
gonna move Zongak stuff over and
Yeah.
start cutting it.
So, it's not unusual for a ghost ship to move on its own until the front of the ship opened up and it was a mimic. The whole ship,
Yeah, everybody kind of knows what a mimic is.
Legend.
the whole ship was a mimic. And it was waiting for a big ship to get close. And then it just started to attack the advantage. So we were on it and we led some cannonball salvos and there's some ballistas. But we couldn't put out the damage that it could put into us, and it hit and attacked, and so Zongak we got him into a room in the ship to just keep him safe, and then it started smashing through decks and everything. So as it came, we were just fleeing for our lives. It was tearing the ship apart around us, and there were 2 lifeboats left, and Ra threw you into one and got in with himself, and Zongak's stuff that Ma picked up, and I got other people into the other one, and we were trying our best to get out of there, and then Ma thought that he could fight that monster down, and he leapt at it, and something must have happened, and he slipped, and I think the creature attacked him, maybe, and he fell into the water next to it.
We didn't go get him?
There was no way to reach him without being attacked by the mimic itself, and I was in a ship full of crew members that would never have turned that boat around towards that monster. It destroyed the advantage in minutes. It was gone from the face of anything.
Well, what about Zongak? Where is he?
He was on the advantage.
Well, he could be alive out there. Maybe he took a nap like I did, and maybe he's awake.
I doubt it. He didn't have a lot of time to rest, and that whole ship was demolished. And that mimic was not just aiming for the ship; it wanted the people. Eating them, picked them up. Oh, they're gone. I don't know what to do. I followed other people the entire time. I followed you here. No, I followed the other one here. The other you here.
What do we do? We can't even take them anywhere. Where do we take
We
them?
can't.
Where would we
We
take
can't.
them?
There's no take. There's nothing to take. We can't lay them to rest. We can't find them. I saw Ma floating. So he was floating at least, so there's maybe a chance, but he looked
I'm gonna
remarkably deceased.
get up and leave and go toward the shore.
Okay, so you run out.
And as she's
Not
leaving,
run,
I'm
but
gonna,
I'm like,
I'm
okay,
gonna
quick
follow
risk.
behind her. Bye, Griselda! Serious things.
You see her like pick up a stick, and she's like, "That was you that made that sound." And then she like sets it down, like
A staff of squeaking.
Yeah.
As she goes out and go, we should talk to the Duke. We should find out. I mean, if it's, I can scour the seafloor, but if I find Zongak on the seafloor, it's not gonna be Zongak.
I'm heading for the shore.
she's
Follow her.
I'm not like running. I'm just like
quick trot.
quick try.
Determinedly
Yeah.
walking.
Yes. So.
I know what you're doing. I've seen people do it plenty of times.
As you see her like going off, there's occasionally like a spring in her step that wasn't there before. Right.
Pep, spunk,
Moxie.
Like if people how populated is the street right now?
People are moving around at a decent clip. I mean, they're setting up and stuff.
I
for
will
in the
try
morning.
to if there's people coming in our direction, I'll try to avoid them, but I'm not above just running into people.
Make a acrobatics check. We'll see how artful you are at dodging people. Does that anyone know? 13. Yeah, pretty decent. You clip a couple people in the shoulder, the fucking, the tough guy shoulder slap,
Yeah.
and then you keep going.
They're all people, so you're
right.
mad about it.
Yeah. I'm holding Zongak half
Stuff?
the time. Yeah.
All right, so with your walk going, eventually you find yourself coming within eyesight of the port side. As you continue to walk, you turn around and you just see, just like following behind you, like expectantly.
They're gonna kill me. Yep. What was his name again?
Wriggle.
Griggle.
As he's like standing there.
I was gonna say Groomish. That's
Rhubarb.
that's what he would.
Rhubarb.
An orc
Rhubarb pie,
gun
come
comes
here.
down and smashes your head in. I don't know.
No, that's just the standard banner.
So,
They
Griggle.
don't put that picture up.
It occurs to me,
Yeah. You're welcome.
you don't look human. I don't look very human. They're probably gonna kill me the second I step in town.
That's not good.
No.
But you're good too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, do you have any cloth?
Oh my.
Rips part of his shirt off.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Take it.
How's it smell?
Smells like a fish.
Ah.
Seaweed and a fish.
I will-
Shit, Keefy. I'm.
No. Because I'm not gonna tie it right. Because it ain't right.
Is it enough to cover
I
your
have a-
face?
Bandana in my pants?
How much cloth is he working with?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That
Enough to
much.
wrap it up.
Half a scarf.
Right?
Yeah. I'm the old lady with the
With
fortunes.
the glasses.
I need to see.
Obviously.
Alright,
Leave your
I'll
eyes
pick something
exposed.
Okay.
like this.
Are you gonna be at disadvantage for perception checks because
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
Griggle.
gonna have
I think you should stay here. Well, where's your little hideout place?
He points back towards the water.
Ah, well.
Okay. You stay here. I'll get food. I'll come back
You look
here.
drunk.
Okay.
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 Alright.
Okay.
And I'll give you your shirt back.
Okay.
Don't follow.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll start walking towards town.
It goes into the
Kids
water.
have an identity crisis.
It's just like floating. Like a dead fish in the water. He goes out into the water and just starts floating around.
Aww.
It smells horrible.
He's just like staring at you though. You notice his
Stop.
one little eye is just like
Oh my God.
there's a big eye above the water. As he watches you.
Is his mouth closed?
Oh, it's wide open. Water going into it.
Good enough.
Okay, so you make your way towards the port town. You notice that a lot of people are kind of like talking, moving around. Mostly old people. The kids are playing, but a couple of them kind of stand in groups and tell the story about how the mimic slapped into the other ship and how it ate it. And like the stories slowly begin to get fantastic as like at one point it just picked the other ship up and ate it entirely.
Oh.
As the little kids are going back and forth. And then like one kid's just chasing another kid going.
I don't want to be a
He's
ship anymore.
crying
I
and
don't wanna
running.
do
Right?
that.
I really was there. It's traumatizing. Kids are ruthless. But
Making fun of him.
yeah.
Well, I've got a punch buckler. I've got a sword tied to my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at you.
That's all that I have on me. Child Lou.
I'm sorry.
I see you!
No, you look like that shitty invisible man. I can't see your hate.
So, what are you doing?
I don't have any money,
Okay.
so we gotta find some of that first.
Okay.
Look for survivors.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to the pier.
Okay. So you head out to the pier. You notice the pier is relatively empty. There's no ships in the harbor, no really anything, and especially anymore. You do notice a couple of injured sailors that are kind of like standing at the shore, like staring off. They talk amongst themselves in low voices.
I'm approaching. Gents,
One of them turns around and kind of looks at you like,
yeah, I washed up on the shore. It was unfortunate what happened last night. Where are the injured being kept?
I don't know, somewhere in town.
Oh,
We weren't that bad, so we just stayed out here.
appreciate it. Crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
He like looks at you, and the other guy kind of like turns, and as the other guy looks at you, like he's kind of like staring off in the distance. His brow furrows, and then he looks to his friend and he goes, "Didn't that motherfucker bring that ship to us?" And then they kind of like all begin kind of like looking to themselves and they're like, "Yeah,
I can assure you that's not what happened.
you brought us right to it."
No. We flagged you down. You brought your own damn ship.
Making friends with the locals. What is your armor class?
17.
That is exactly what he rolled.
Oh.
With no modifier, as this guy just lunges, boom, and just tries to sock you. It's 1 damage. I can't roll any higher than that. They're not efficient.
Did I get health back from being unconscious?
Yes, you got at least 1 from 1d4 hours.
I'm sorry.
So you've been out so you have 2 plus whatever you had before.
Ooh.
You are non-lethal, so you should already
Oh,
been
yeah.
at 1.
Well, would have been a 0, right? Because I was unconscious.
No, you can be unconscious at a 1.
Oh.
So you are at 3 currently, as that guy just lunges and just socks you right in the side of the head for 1 damage.
Okay.
As you
So you just go right back out.
and then the other guy starts shouting. The one dude kind of like grabs him and he's like, "Hey man, like I was mad, but Jesus," trying to like hold him back for a minute, and then the dude just like cursing, just like, "Get the fuck out of here," type shit.
Thanks. Sorry about the ship. And I'll make my way towards town.
Okay, so you head out. You just get obscenities from behind as they just, lay into you. You're heading back up towards the.
Well, I'm looking to see if there's a house in town that looks like it's being the sick house.
Make an investigation check, please. Super not great.
Investigation's 7.
7. Looking around, I mean, the houses all look the same, and people are coming and going, but there's no real clear sign of where they were. They weren't really exiting that place, so it's really difficult to tell.
Then I'll just start making my way back up to the normal town.
Okay.
Figure they'd be heading to the Duke, right? So.
So as you head back up, you exit out and begin walking down. You are passed on the journey by a familiarly dressed, but child, like a child's wearing
Child.
Lucrezia's
A
clothes.
teenager.
Yeah, that's a child. So a 16-year-old girl with matching hair comes barreling down the path carrying a pack.
Hey, little girl!
Just keeps running.
God damn it. We better not have sold Zongak shit.
And then,
I'm gonna chase after her.
as you chase
fucking
out,
grab
there's a theta going down too.
As soon as you grab me, I'm gonna try to swing it.
Okay.
Grab her by the collar.
Okay. So you turn around, turn to wing.
That's unarmed strike, right?
Yes.
Unarmed. So 15.
Oh, what that
15 does not hit.
15? No. Okay.
His armor class 17.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
So as she swings and flails around, you kind of like smack the hand out of the way for a minute.
Seems like
Who
an
the fuck
adolescent.
are you?
I will break your arm, young lady!
Get the fuck off me! I'm gonna try to get him off me.
Well, actually, you took a swing, so it's my turn.
Oh, you're swinging at me.
I'm going to bend her arm up behind her back.
Okay. Make a grapple check. So acrobatics or athletics.
Hey!
It doesn't matter.
18 plus 8.
Yeah.
7.
26.
As he goes to like wrench it up, you just kind of like do like a little jump, flip over it, and then you get it back. They're like little kids being ninjas.
Yeah, I've done that. To a grown man.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh yeah, you did. I do remember. So, as that the whole transpires, Theta, you come up to see this strange entanglement of interaction.
Listen, you little brunt, I just want to know who sold you all the crap you're
I'm
wearing.
gonna walk over there.
What are you talking about? These are my fucking clothes. What is wrong with you? There's a fucking general store back there. Go visit them.
No, I don't want to buy your shit. I'm looking for the older woman that sold it to you.
She is in the hut thing.
Not the fucking witch, lady! Tall, looks a little bit like you, kind of annoying, really loud, makes terrible life decisions, usually gets people hurt.
Who the
I'm
fuck
like,
are you?
Lucrezia, fucking relax. We're
Hello?
gonna sneak up on him.
How do you know my name?
Where's Theta?
And then you hear it.
How do you know Theta? Who are you?
Hello.
Hey, Theta.
Does someone know?
Do I know you?
It sounds familiar, yeah.
Yes,
You get really close.
I only know one person who wears a rag on his face.
that's me.
His outfit is the
I'm
same.
going to try to pull the rag
Prove
off
it.
his face.
No.
Okay, it's Mom.
It is
Is
weird.
this her?
What?
This.
When I-
young-
Yeah,
Look
she
at
had a
him.
drink
Does
and
he
it
look
made.
different?
I mean,
That
there's a
happened.
thing on his face, but
Yeah, can I see?
Is that important?
you
Is
can
that
see his
significant?
eyes better. Yeah, it
Or
looks
are
like
they
green.
worse than when I saw them before? I'm gonna like reach up and try to like look in your thing.
I'm gonna push her out of the way, and I'm going to grab Ma. And
What the fuck happened to you?
Hey,
Metal
Theta.
man. You're not dead.
No, I'm not.
Zongak is.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
He's
And-
my oldest friend. Kind of. I mean, you're on the same list, but I don't know. I feel like I knew Zongak better from the beginning.
Fair enough.
We were the same height.
You had a lot
It
of
was
common.
important. Statistically significant.
Glad you guys are okay.
Well,
That said, I need some food for my savior. So,
what does that sentence mean?
tiny fishman pulled me from the water and kept me from drowning.
Oh,
I
here you go.
I owe him a meal.
2 rations.
Thank you, sir. Come with me.
Okay. We're going with him.
I will lead them
And I
down.
will follow.
wait,
No questions asked.
what about Zongak?
Lou, he's dead.
We need to go get him. We need to take him somewhere. We can't just leave him out there.
Okay.
Lucrezia.
Okay.
We just leave people behind now?
Okay.
Lucrezia. I'm gonna pat her on the shoulder. Stow the rations.
He's a wither. Aw.
He's dead. I've been cursed.
told
I have
you
a
should have done
question.
something about this.
Baby steps.
Did you always look like this?
No.
Okay. I don't remember what your face is like, and humans blend together for me.
That's fair enough.
So,
So, baby steps, Lou.
is
Food
Is
for the
it-
savior first.
bad?
Yeah, he's not him. He's a
I mean, he's still
lizard
him.
person.
I mean, I'm
He answers
still
the
me.
same
No,
name.
but
He's got the
what-
same weapons.
What are you turning into? What are you gonna become?
Nothing.
What if all
That's
those people we
ev-
were fighting were
Lou, I'm
people?
done!
Lucrezia,
Changing.
everyone grows up. Let's move on.
That's not. Theta, that's not what people do.
He went through a different
I
puberty
mean-
than you did.
Clearly, it's what people do.
No.
It's
no.
what people are
Just
doing
gotta
currently.
Be careful not to let people see it because they'll be a fair bit more upset than they already are.
I would also like to give you
Oh,
a
right,
hug.
because there's the war.
Yeah.
That's not good.
I give you.
Somebody said there's a war on.
Oh, there's a war on.
Did you hear me?
Yes. Thank you, Lily. Sorry, I thought you sold your armor.
Let's go talk to your magic
No,
fish.
not one.
Yeah, it's not armor.
Well,
Yeah, it's just
Clothes.
clothing. Yeah. I know I made the same mistake.
Yeah.
I thought it was armor. I'm just not
I
familiar
forgot.
with what protects you.
hunks.
Yeah. Cloth, leather, steel.
Okay.
It's all inferior.
So you guys all begin kind of heading down in a solemn silence.
Well, I'll hang back and like look at the water for a minute. Like, can I
Long
see anything
pause.
floating up or anything? Like anything floating on the water?
Was it wreckage and stuff like that?
Even
Yeah.
the wreckage is being pushed west.
Oh.
Can I? So do I see stuff floating?
No, it, well, it's
Probably
going
not at
west.
this
It's
point.
going down around.
Yeah, it's going down. It's not. I mean, even he washed up on shore to the
Yeah,
west.
well
like,
west.
well,
Yeah.
that's the way the current goes.
I'll still
That's
try to
the
look.
Made the water
Okay.
crumbles.
Yeah, you look.
Um.
As we head down the steps of the Fishman.
Yeah, I will say that so that way when we come back we can speed up a little bit. You guys make it down to the bottom. You guys instead of heading taking a left and heading towards the basically like left and straight, like heading straight towards the city, you bank right immediately down the actual like sea towards the seaside, towards the beach, and you begin heading towards where you remember the Fishman being. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. I hope you guys are enjoying so far. We'll be right back after a couple minutes. We can use the restroom and grab some drinks and stuff like that. So I hope you guys are enjoying, and see you soon. Rocco, thanks for the host, buddy.
Hope you're enjoying.
Hope you're enjoying.
He drove
This is
by.
the Fallout episode.
Is the Fallout episode.
Thanks for the memories. Fuck.
baby, and then he started a new song.
Yeah.
Like,
I had a DJ
fucking
like that.
retarded.
It's it reminds me of that Lonely Island
Hello.
sketch where they go to drop the bass and he just keeps not
Yeah.
dropping
Yes.
the bass.
Oh, the
It's
when is
build-
the bass
infinite
gonna?
builds?
Yeah, when is the bass gonna drop song?
Exactly.
Hey man, he's doing something different. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to go ahead and continue our Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition campaign right now. The break is over right now. All right, so you guys find your way down towards the beach. As you guys approach the edge of the secret beach, the first thing that catches your eye is this floating
Bubble.
mouth open, and as you kind of get closer, its little eye blinks for a minute, and then it's like, and then it begins like moving towards the shoreline. Its little head just kind of stays perched above the water as it just onto the land.
I'll try to meet him at the water's edge. I'm familiar with him not enjoying being on land.
He kind of pops up.
Food. Hmm?
Takes him. One of them begins eating, and then the other one, he's just kind of like,
Oh,
What is he?
This is Griggle.
seems to be a Kutoa.
Oh, shit.
He's like probably maybe about 4.5 feet tall, maybe. He looks like a giant like harp. He's got like a round head, two big eyes, flat, fish-like mouth with like sharp little spines on it for teeth.
Did not see that. I saw him as a Murloc.
Pretty much.
About my knee height.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
4 foot tall.
Or no, sorry, 3 to 4 feet tall. Hard to
Like
tell.
3 foot better.
He's webbed hands and feet, little spindly type arms with a thick trunk-like fish body. A little tail, a little fin on it. His shirt, he has like almost like he was wearing a bag on him that is now like more ripped as he
Give it back to him. Whatever.
puts it on his head.
Yeah.
He's holding the ration.
Well, there you go, Griggle. Thank you.
What?
what?
No. Friends. Yes.
Food?
No.
Oh.
Buddies. Compatriots. Amigos.
Anchor.
kind of.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like little faces, like open mouth, kind of like chomps back and forth.
You remind me of someone.
I mistook him when we started, but thank you for saving me, Griggle.
Betsy just starts crying.
I mean,
Good
she
luck
probably
out there.
has started at some point.
We're gonna go pick up the pieces.
Thank you for dragging him out. I'm gonna dig through my bag and I've got a net that I purchased and I'm gonna give it to him.
No.
I don't want that.
No, I'm not.
It's
You
so
tried.
heavy.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Your new net.
Your face cover.
Breathes more and I figure I have to
It's
layer it
very
more.
burlesque.
But well, I figure it'll look different, but it'll look intentional.
You're ridiculous.
What are you? Are you touching?
You know, she's like trying to reach
Yeah.
for.
Oh, I know exactly. I know exactly what she was. He
Well, I'm looking at Maul. I really am.
He put his hand out.
Girl.
And I'll just copy.
Superimposing.
Yeah, I'm literally just mirroring. Just
Yeah. So eyes are just blinking around.
Oh my
That's great.
god.
He's just holding the other ration in his hand.
so. Who are you?
Girl.
Giggle. Nice to meet you.
Griggle.
Yeah.
Girl. He holds the sides of his mouth.
So what brings you here? I haven't seen any of your kind around.
Girl's finding food.
Didn't we hear something about them? Shit. I'm thinking.
Just finding food for yourself?
No.
No? Others need food?
Well,
Lots of others? Oh.
You know, Griggle, why do you need food? Don't you hunt in the ocean?
no. Not supposed to go outside anymore.
No?
No, master says no.
What is
Rude.
Who's your master?
The king.
Does he look like you or us?
Neither.
Oh.
What's he look like?
Speak.
Like,
Scar.
Does he have sharp teeth?
I don't know. Never seen his teeth.
Oh,
No? That's peculiar. I know all them and I've seen their teeth. His only recently, but.
He like his little face up like so you can see his teeth.
Oh.
has he always
That's different.
been your master?
No.
Has he been your master for a long time?
Well, Griggle, my next question is, do you like him as your master? Is he a nice master?
Sometimes.
Is he usually a nice master?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So where is he?
It comes and goes.
Why doesn't stay with the rest of you?
So he tells you you're not allowed to go outside for food.
No.
And he doesn't stay with you?
No.
Well, he eats nice food?
Why is he,
Never
why
seen
is,
the meat.
why is he your king?
Who said so?
He just can't, did he, like, kill anybody? Like, did he kill you guys, or, like, how did he become your king?
You know what he says when you say that? He kind of goes,
Yeah? Like, a lot of you, or just some of you? Did you have a other king before? Did he kill that king? Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
That's how it becomes king.
Yeah.
That is the standard monarchy, from what I've seen. Something about dogs eating dogs in the world out there.
We're not supposed to be outside.
So why are you outside?
Quite hungry.
Did he not feed you guys? Or are you just particularly
He's not there.
hungry?
He just said.
We don't get a lot of food. A little bit of food.
A
A
little bit.
lot of food. But I found lizard. Maybe get rewarded for lizard.
You did get
You
rewarded.
did get rewarded for the lizard. You get for food. Are your people, like, starving? Like, are a lot, or do you just get enough?
We just get enough. We don't need more food.
Okay.
Look at what's hungry.
You just need a lot more food than everyone else, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Do you want him to not be your king anymore?
Do you guys need a king?
Yeah.
Oh.
Otherwise we eat everything.
So, you aren't allowed to go outside. Does he ever tell you to go anywhere else? Or do anything?
Work.
Work. What do you do?
Dig.
We're, like, are you under the water digging?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're digging? Is it like tunnels, or do you put stuff together?
Sometimes.
You put stuff together? Are you making, like houses?
Yeah.
No. What are you making? Do you know?
Just dig tunnels.
Just dig tunnels.
Yeah.
No buildings?
Sometimes.
Sometimes
Wiggle
buildings.
doesn't build buildings.
What does Wiggle do?
Make tunnels.
You do the tunnels. So people have different jobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Katoa.
Koto. Okay.
Different not people.
Oh, I'm
They're
sorry.
not people.
Right, they're Koto. I'm sorry.
Katoa.
What?
Yeah.
What do all of you do? What are the different jobs you guys have?
Stoke fire.
Okay.
Build building. Dig tunnel.
So you don't exclusively live underwater.
So normally we do.
What do you build your fires for?
Run this boat.
Not underwater.
Now underground.
Okay. Because if it was underwater, I'd have a lot more questions for you.
Do you ever see people like us?
Thermite.
Oh God!
just instantly knows. Huh?
Do you ever see people like us? Like, not who? Sorry. Like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like us, robot.
Yeah. That's always like
Human.
yeah.
Fuck.
You see people like a lot of people, or just like
Sometimes
where do you see them at?
underground.
Griggle, are you digging from the ocean under the beach into the rock here?
You guys making good progress?
Yeah.
Is it under the wall over there into that area?
So under the castle.
More than likely.
That was under.
I see.
You said you see a lot of people. Do they live down there, or do they come and help you guys? No, that's not an answer.
Well, here's a question, Griggle. Do you want to dig tunnels anymore? Do you want to go back to the ocean?
What did you
How
guys?
would you feel
Oh,
if we took care of this problem? Maybe got rid of that bad king and you could be king. But he could be.
I'm gonna try to quietly say, well, I don't know that he's king material necessarily.
Those people make the best kings.
It's
His
true.
eyes don't blink together.
He's humble.
Have you met any other Katella?
No, but
Maybe that's a trait.
um.
Well, you know what? Can you take us to where your tunnels are?
Okay.
Like 15 minutes deep?
I think that there are minutes.
Okay. Well,
We'll
Anchor?
go the other
Well, wait.
way.
The other way?
We can.
The other way.
Mo-
Doesn't matter.
Another way to get down there?
Yeah.
What's the other?
That's convenient.
It's where the poop goes.
Oh god.
Oh, a sewer.
Poop goes there. Yeah.
Is there anything else down there aside from like a way to get in? Do you ever see anything else? Just poop. Are there like rooms down there? Are there other buildings down there?
creatures.
Other people like us? Me?
There's nasty water.
So there's nothing else down there? You never see anything else down there?
No.
Because they said that there might be a dungeon down there. So I'm asking.
Oh right, yeah, that was a rumor mill thing.
Okay, so maybe that's just.
I mean, maybe, or there's Well, I believe that we could use some more rest for some of
Yeah,
our friends,
that's what I was gonna say. I
and we
think
can regroup
this can
and
wait.
do this.
I got
I mean,
punched
I
in the
don't.
face.
Yeah, I
I
feel.
don't-
I mean, I
yeah.
feel good right
You
now.
got punched in the face?
Yeah.
By who?
Sailor.
I've heard they do that.
Well, he was quite distraught that he seems to believe that it's our fault his ship
Oh.
was destroyed.
I mean, it was a failing on both sides. I was analyzing it afterwards, and I realized that the key failing, I don't know if it was with us or with the crew. I feel like it was with the crew because they're more experienced with these things.
Mhm.
But we didn't set up 2 signals. We
Yeah.
set up 1 signal, which was come on over because we killed everybody, which, while optimistic, was stupid.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, Griggle.
We should have had
Enjoy
set
the
fire
food.
to it from there.
should
Signal.
we give him a time to, like, hey, when the sun's up, we'll meet you back here? Or
Sun's up.
something?
Meet him
It's the
again?
morning, right?
Like when the sun's up, like
Yeah,
because
it's-
there's a
it's
coast,
like-
right?
It's the morning.
Bridging noon now.
So
Yeah,
like
it's good.
maybe when the sun's in a certain spot in the sky.
Well, do we
it
need
comes up from
him?
there.
Now we know there's this pathway in the sewers.
I feel like it would be better since we don't know what's down there if we had like a way to get around. Also, are they gonna try to eat us too?
More than likely, they're probably
No, they will try to eat you.
Well, they'll probably try to eat me.
The other people, they're eating Krakoa down there. Do they try to eat like will they try to eat me and these guys if we come down? Not him, he's an anchor, but
No.
maybe.
Well,
What if we bring food? Will
No, I
it do
don't.
then?
I don't think we need him because he's only going to be able to show us the one way,
Right.
and the only one of us that's going to make it that deep underwater is him.
But not through the sewers.
Right. But I don't think he knows that there is a sewer way. I don't think he knows the way to it from above ground.
Is that true?
Never been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're still in the dark.
Alright.
Well, this has been a very productive conversation. Thank you for your services and,
Thank you
and
very much.
dragging my friend out of the water. That probably saved his life. So
Probably one.
But don't.
He did.
Oh.
That's
Well,
okay.
He still has spike marks,
you
but
know,
it's okay.
I mistake things for other things all the time. It's an honest mistake. It happens. Plus, it all looks the same.
But don't come back up here unless you see us, because other people could hurt you or freak out. Okay. So don't come back up
Yeah,
here.
if you see the people from the dock, the ones
Yeah.
that look like her, they'll probably just kill you.
Yeah.
I had to deal with that in a couple of towns.
They don't like us.
No.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? We'll see if we can't get
There was some fighting, I guess.
good fortune coming your way, King Griggle. Yeah. Yeah.
He, like plops back into the water and then
Oh.
goes under.
Okay.
Disappears.
So clearly, the first thing we should do is go tell the Duke that there's an invasion happening under his walls.
I think he's aware.
Well,
I think that's a bad assumption to make.
Well, they said that they thought that because they used to be a threat before, and then like 5 years ago, like they just stopped showing up, but the Duke kept telling people they were a threat. So I think maybe he's
Well,
like,
I think he was just prepared, but these specifics, I think, are very helpful to him.
yes.
or
Plus, we can figure out what the exact terms were of our bargain with the ship.
I don't know. I still don't know.
He
if we
hired the ship. He didn't own the ship.
should- Yeah, yeah.
It didn't cost him anything to break it into pieces.
But I don't know if we should tell
I mean,
him about this.
Honestly, we may
We
have
saved
saved
the
him
money.
some money.
Being pragmatic.
Also,
Yes.
that was our way back to Alavra.
That was one of our ways back to Alavra. There are many routes.
Well, so she had said before that if we find, like, if we give her more than 1,000 gold, then it would be worth her while to take us. I
Right.
feel like a ship is worth more than 1,000 gold. So maybe if we find her a new ship.
Sure. However, at the moment, and if you'll forgive the metaphor, but that ship has sailed. Um,
But she doesn't have a new.
we're not getting anywhere with that.
Maybe we can find a new boat for her to sail away with. Sail us to Alavra.
She's
I mean, I can look around,
What?
and out of all the boats that I see, we can have our pick.
I think
There are none.
she's implying that with the Duke, we might entreat him for a ship.
We can do that too. I was talking about stealing a ship.
Sure. However,
Honestly.
oh, just stealing one?
Or-
That's a lot harder than you think
Yeah.
it is.
Have you done that?
I've tried with people.
What
Okay,
happened?
I just mean
I didn't get a ship.
I just mean imagine how many crew members were on the ship that we were on.
Not as
Precisely.
many now.
We would need about that many to steal a ship.
Okay, forget the stealing. But I'm saying none of these other ships are going to Alavra though.
There's no other ships.
No, like there's other.
No,
there's other
there's
ships.
no other ships. There are a couple fishing boats,
Mm,
but they're
There's
not big
an-
enough to make a long journey or
There's
anything.
effectively an embargo on right
Yeah,
that's right.
there are no ships in the harbor.
Um,
That's why I was saying of all the ships you can see, we can have our pick because it's an empty ocean
Okay. Well,
and the promise of a mimic out there
Maybe-
somewhere.
maybe she has a way of getting another ship. I think we should talk to her. Maybe we could help her out.
now. If I may,
Mm-hmm.
her crew assaulted me on site.
That's them. That's not her.
No, I see though. From their perspective, we did get them killed and,
Yes.
and destroyed their livelihood.
Well, maybe we could apologize.
I have never seen that work in person.
I mean,
Lou,
that's you. What?
True.
let's make that plan B.
We'll
What's
put
plan
pin
A?
in that.
Plan A is we go to the Duke.
Yeah.
We inform him of the happenings and attempt to collect whatever reward we can.
Oh, the happenings. Okay. Yeah.
Let's,
Wait, what are you saying no to?
I don't think we should tell him about the other thing because I think he's well aware of the other
I
thing.
think we should absolutely tell them about
well,
it.
if he's well aware of it, then
Yeah, but
us
then-
telling him might just let him get us to go fix it.
Or maybe he'll kill us because for our silence, or imprison us. Like, I think what he was doing is not exactly like.
You suspect him.
I suspect him. Yeah.
Of what exactly?
Well, because that guy went missing, right? And then like,
No, the guy went working.
well, he went working, but then we found out that like, oh, he didn't like. People don't. There's no enchanters here, and then I'm like,
He
she
went,
suspected
he went to the
him.
front line. He went to a place of great.
Other things going on.
Yeah, he went to a place of great potential
Well,
to make a magic item.
If we're
and
going on that,
secrecy.
Lucrezia, what you're insinuating is that the Duke is aware and in actively employing Kratoa to dig under
His house into his
Under-
own city.
beach, into his private beach,
Yeah.
into the walls of his city.
Yeah. Under his castle, right?
To do what?
Maybe he's torturing people down there. Maybe he's doing evil stuff. I
Why
don't
is
know.
he having them dig into his torture chamber?
So he can be down there. No, they're making torture chambers, or they're making something under there for him.
They were making tunnels into the city.
This seems far fetched.
I mean, I've heard people claim there's a flat planet that we're living on, but this is
I mean,
lying in a lot
People
of ways.
also said that he might be like experimenting on people. Maybe he's experimenting on people
Right.
down there.
Take that, put it over here. How are underwater tunnels going to aid him in that?
Because then people can't get access to it.
No, then more people can get access.
But there's
to
a
it.
sewer pathway leading
Yeah,
in. So
but-
now he's creating a new entrance into his super secret dungeon.
Yeah, but that guy, Griggle has never seen people down there, right?
So there's feasibly no people
Everyone
there.
else dead. Yeah, yeah. Here, right.
I think I get where you're going with this, Lou.
Well, because if it's like above ground, where people have more access to it, but if it's like in the sewers where there's not a lot of people that go there, it's not like there's a lot of people living down there.
Right. The secret torture chamber is in the sewers.
You make it sound crazy when you say that. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I know
This
you're
is
not
crazy. We saw I didn't see a ship. He saw a ship eat another ship.
Relax.
We're in the realm of crazy.
Lou,
Just saying.
that's 10.
Okay, what?
Hear me. Secret chamber.
Yeah.
Underground.
Yeah.
Under the city.
Yeah.
Isolated.
Yeah. Which would be perfect for torturing people.
Sewer. Right? Sewer
Yeah.
entrance?
Yeah.
The Duke goes there to torture people.
No. He's making something under his castle, so he has better access to it that nobody else can get to.
But it's already there.
And he's making it.
No, if he's already kidnapping and torturing people, Lucrezia, he's already got it. It's made. Which means, why would he pay these guys to dig into it?
For more, well, no, like he's making other tunnels to like go into it.
What is your passive perception?
Me? 12? 12.
Okay. Curious.
Is it from you or something? Are you gonna do something?
Look, anyway, Lou, we're
Everybody sounds
gonna,
like a
we're gonna tell the Duke
Mm.
because, listen, Lou. Either we're gonna help
You're
him,
holding my hand.
yes,
Okay.
we're either gonna help him, or it's gonna very quickly not be our problem anymore.
We're gonna die?
No.
Okay.
I
I
think
feel like we're gonna die.
Lou, I've seen you fight. If anything, you're younger and more spry than you used to be. Which means you'll probably be able to cave his skull in before you can do anything to us. Gotcha, kiddo.
Are you cold? Why call me kiddo? That's rude.
You're 16.
How old are you?
23.
I'm the same age as you. Why would you call me kiddo? You know, sometimes you're condescending. I don't think you realize it, but sometimes you are. You don't have glasses on, you get foggy. What about the griffins? We gotta feed our griffins. Can we go feed the griffins? Also, we should find Zongak's body. We should have Griggle go out there and try to find it.
I'm so sorry, Beta.
He might eat it.
He is not there.
Did you confuse?
You see him walking off in the, like...
Damn it! What do we do? There's a lot of options.
I'm really long gone by this time.
We'll start making our way after him.
Okay, so you start heading back to
But what if we die and then we can't feed the griffins?
They'll be fine.
I thought we were gonna rest.
They'll be fine. We'll make our way back out towards the city at large.
I don't trust him. You trust him?
So, you have a decent head start on them, but they are following behind you.
Okay. And their speed is higher than mine. They'll catch up.
As you are going up
I'm the
the
fastest.
as you start going up the little switchback
Mine's
trail that
25.
leads up the
Mine's
cliffside, you are eventually met up with the rest of the group, and you're like, welcome. And you guys make your way the 300 meters back to the outside of the city. You enter the city.
Beeline.
Yep, just head through the cobblestone path that crosses the whole thing, and then you start heading up towards the actual keep itself. The closer you get, you notice that the guard presence seems slightly diminished, as there seems to be less people meandering about, but there are people waiting outside, and as you approach, they recognize the faces as that this is their fucking job.
Hello.
And they've been here for a long time.
Two of the faces and the net.
Well, the last time you were wearing something too, so they're just
Yeah.
like...
Oh, that's a
changed
fashion
your-
statement.
Yeah, changed your fashion
Besides, they
statement.
know. The king and the duke knows about you.
No,
he-
the sketch artist knows
Yeah,
whether or
but
not
I'm
he
sure
told
the-
the Duke out of
I'm
fear.
sure the duke
Not
would
tell
know.
Well, yeah, sketch artist.
Well, also, he didn't look like he does now. He was less lizardy when he showed them that.
Was he? Or were you the
Right.
same?
No, you say.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he was that
He was
far
full.
along.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah, full on along. So, as you approach, the guards kind of stop you for a minute, and then they, one of them is like, let me go see if it's okay for you to come in.
Sure.
And he kind of like takes a decent little...
While we're standing there, can I see in the distance, like outside of town, if the griffins are anywhere?
Make a perception check.
12. Sorry. I had 2.
Plus
Sorry.
2.
Yeah, 12.
You don't seem to catch any sight of him. But after a moment, he returns along with one of the attendants you saw earlier, like one of the servants that was kind of running around. They seem to be pulled away, and they let me gather everyone up, and then they bring in escorting you inside. As you approach, the servant opens the front doors and pins them fully open, as the keep seems to be open for the morning. And as you enter, you're greeted by a new smell of food, fresh food, recently cooked meats, and all sorts of goodies wafting out from the kitchen dining
A little
area.
bit of maple, a little bit of flour, a little bit of
Some vanilla.
eggs.
So as you are led through the main thing, the stores or the stairs, you head up each flight, the 3 little tiered steps, and each time they pin open the doors again as they're basically opening up as you walk in, and then you're led into the main chamber, stained glass window in the back, the throne sitting kind of like epicenter on a slightly raised dais, and then on both ends out there's the doors that lead on. One leads onto the balcony, and then the other doors that disappear off deeper into the keep. It is empty, and the attendant kind of okay, and then he heads off again, and heads out towards where you know.
Patiently.
Huh?
I'll wait patiently.
He heads out towards where you know the breakfast, where they ate breakfast last time, the dining area. And then after a few moments, the Duke emerges. He seems to be dressed nicely. He has his coat in his hand, his large sort of ornate regal coat. He places it on the back of the chair, and he turns and sees the sort of dishevelment and
I will
dirt.
give him a very strange smile.
Hello.
Good morning.
So, how much have you heard about what happened in the harbor?
I was briefed this morning of some terrifying news. The ship was alive,
Indeed.
is what they're telling me.
It was a mimic.
Mimic.
Never seen one of that size. You ever experienced? They tend to hide in dungeons. They usually impersonate chests or doors or occasionally tapestries or anything like that. You'll come across them occasionally if you spend time delving. And I wouldn't imagine you would, of course. I've never seen one of this size. I've never heard of one this size. There's not even legends. There's legends of dragons. There's legends of giants. There's not. I've never heard a legend of a mimic of this scale.
Nor have I.
That's because they're so well hidden.
You're a
I
lizard man.
trust you're doing well then.
Not quite. We lost one of our own, and another appears to be missing. He was on one of the boats who didn't come back, and our other small friend, he didn't make it. The ship departed last night. It seemed to want to lure. If it comes back again, I assume you have siege weaponry of some sort.
Yes.
I would recommend firing the water and the ship itself. Just fire. There's nothing worth taking on it. There was also a spirit on board, a vengeance, which struck me as odd because even a mimic as a construct, from what I know of spirits, which isn't much, but they tend to stay in a place they existed in. So I have 2 options for that. I've been thinking about it a lot. One is that the mimic gathered the spirit somehow, which seems impossible. So someone would have put it there and intended that spirit to exist there. He was the captain of the ship. He was very regal, very strong. Very strong. Or 2, the captain died on that ship and became Spirit of Vengeance, which means that there was a pirate captaining a mimic throughout the seas, and no one heard of it. The only reason no one hears of something is because no one lives to tell the tale.
That is certainly the case. I have never heard or seen of such a thing.
No, you're more
Bizarre.
familiar with legends in this area. There's no legends of a ship that eats ships.
No. Nor,
Fair.
ghost ships are a dime a dozen. Every sailor has a tale of seeing one
Of
somewhere. So you fear it may return then?
It may. We fought it. We struck damage to it. It didn't seem phased. 3 cannon salvos, explosives hurled by myself and crew members, several ballista bolts into it, positive hits. It didn't seem to notice.
Interesting. Well then, I am sorry for your loss.
Us too.
And you seem scratched. I may be able to help a little bit in that area. What happened to you?
Well, I got hit, by some skeletons because there were skeletons on there, and then I passed out for a while, and then I woke up, and I ate some soup, and then I went, and I feel better now. I mean, I need a nap. I'm still kind of, like, sore, but...
We got a potion from... Do you know of Griselda?
Yes.
We got a potion from
I
her
do.
that she said definitely wouldn't kill her.
Yeah, and I feel a lot
And
better
it
now.
definitely didn't kill her.
So.
Do you want to fix that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my shirt, like, I think it got messed up.
I mean,
inside.
your situation. I may have something to reverse
Sir,
the effect.
would you happen to have a looking glass?
Did I lose weight?
Yeah, I'm sure.
What
I
happened?
somewhere.
Like, keys.
And then
Sorry
the attendant
about
that's
that.
been kind of like sitting off in the corner, he's like, "Can you head to my study, please, and see if I have any such instrument?" Just heads out. You seem younger. I think that potion may have had ill effect.
What?
You seem considerably younger than when I
What?
saw you last. 10
Ah, fuck!
years, maybe?
I mean, proper. Fuck. Ah, damn it. Damn it.
In the interim, sir,
What?
we have a bit more pressing news.
You
It
didn't
seems
tell
that
me.
Kratoa
Oh,
are
yeah.
attempting
Oh.
to burrow under your private beach and feasibly into the cliff face.
I'm going to watch his face. As we
His
do
normally
this.
dead face kind of turns into this like nasty scowl as he's.
I'm not doing that face. I'm sorry.
They said
You've
they
seen
made,
one.
Yes.
They said they made it as far as the sewers.
If you'll excuse me,
Oh, wait.
I'll need to
Oh, no.
recall some forces then.
I
Does
imagine
he
you would.
look, like, disappointed or angry?
Make an insight check, please.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nice! Don't bother rolling.
Is that a natural Uno?
Yes!
He seems angry and slightly on edge. The news that they've reached the sewers seems to have sort of rubbed him the wrong way.
That said, they seem to be acting out of desperation. It seems some outside force has started to apply to their group.
He spoke of a master who's not of their race,
King.
who comes and goes.
You notice him actually getting like physically, like his
fuck.
hands like clenching, and he's like,
Um,
interesting.
But I have a question outside of character. When he was telling us about the ship before, like the ship that was coming to the harbor and shit, did he seem mad about that?
No.
Okay.
But
So-
you've known from the rumors about the city that the Katoa have been attacking this place for years, and people haven't seen them recently.
Ancient hate.
So there is a long history that this city has against a Katoa threat, and since there hasn't been any sightings, you don't know if that may be like, maybe they thought they had like gone, or that they had
And
won.
you're like,
off.
ah,
Yeah.
revenge. Fuck. Damn you, dice! I could know this right now!
Or he's about to kill us. He's going to walk in the other room, and then this room's going to fill with
That's
hot
what I
lead.
thought.
That would be cool.
Why would he put lead in a room?
Because
Oh. I imagine him like liquid lead filling up their room.
Yeah.
That's
But
it,
he
sir.
should kill us.
He's got this like,
but not like.
you can see
I
like the
wasn't thinking
muscles
of-
twisting
Oh,
into the
okay.
skin, and it's
Yeah.
like he's
Alright,
like
that's good.
cracking his neck a little bit. He just
if you
This
would
one
allow
is
us a
to me.
brief respite, as soon as we recover
That's
just a night's rest, we could probably head into the sewers and start looking and see if we can find them.
tell you what. Do you wish for me to look into your ailment?
Nah, that's
You're
fine.
okay with that?
Yeah. Thank you though. That's nice of you.
Do any of you need any sort of provision brief to heal yourself?
He
I
could
have
use some patching up. He had a
Yeah.
bad morning, bad night, and bad morning, and then he got punched by a sailor.
Yeah, probably deserve that last one.
I have a question. Our ride back to Lavra was eaten by the ship because it was the other ship. So, do you have any way of getting back to Lavra or any extra ships that you don't really use a lot?
Unfortunately, we are stretched thin as it were, and I'm
Right.
going to have to recall some of the blockade to deal with the ghost ship. Most likely 2 or more ships just to make sure that if it's as threatening as you say, that they stay outside of range. And
It's more than as threatening as I can convey to you. It
I-
can move of its own power, and its entire bow opens into a mouth.
We're not helping with
so we will.
Not again.
Okay.
We tried that once and killed one of
So
us.
unfortunately, I have no ships to spare you.
Okay.
As far as my assistance in the matter, I can write you a letter to Cyrodiil to the east. However, they may only let you stay as long to get through the city to the port. They do not entertain
Well,
humans
does
like
anybody,
myself.
did anybody, like, who's of, like, a higher station have any, like, extra boats that they, like, would just leisure on, but they can't because of the blockade now?
They all would have been consigned to the military,
Yeah, I
correct?
was going to say
Yeah.
we appropriated
Okay. I just wanted to...
everything that was necessary.
Damn it! Alright.
Do you know of a way that we could get a message to Teresus? He's a wizard who lives in the flame in Batella.
Ah,
Tiresias?
That one,
Okay.
yes.
I don't know. Just in case that's what you meant.
we could send Falcon. We can ask my wife to assist
What did
momentarily. She practices magic recreationally.
Oh,
Like,
Um,
what kind?
aggressive.
Some people like painting, is what she likes to do. What kind?
Does she
Like,
know
does she
constrict?
Does she, like, teleport, or
levitate.
is she, like, illusions? I know there's different kinds of magic.
It's, whatever she's reading,
Hmm.
I can ask if she has any means
Fair.
of that. Otherwise,
Because
I do
if
have.
we can get a message to him, he seems to not hate us and know who we are. And he has the power of teleportation. I've seen him do it downstairs to upstairs, and that's convenient. So maybe he might know someone that could direct us to a circle to keep us from having to cross a war zone to get home.
Exactly. I just don't feel like doing
And
a
that would
long walk
be way
back.
faster than a ship.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
way
now that
faster.
we know and we don't have the Duchess with us, I feel like the walk would probably go much more
I
swimmingly.
mean, I
Right.
have a teleportation circle
Well, there you go.
that leads back to.
Oh,
Would it be too much of an inconvenience if we could use it at some point?
Can any of you activate a teleportation circle?
no.
Raw did some stuff, right?
Where's Rob?
Where is Raw? Did you not?
You cannot ask me the question.
I'm afraid that I have
Well,
no
well,
gift of
is
magic.
it-
When I returned from the
Okay.
Athenaeum, the young teacher there is the one that sent us.
And nobody in this town can. Why do you have teleportation? Do you have somebody that can use that thing?
No, I'm afraid. Not even my wife's magic is powerful enough to
Fair.
activate the
To
circle.
be honest, teleportation is a very
Is it just
Big.
so you can come back? Is that why
For
you
the
have it?
most part.
well.
Okay.
if
These
you have a-
symbols were all installed by King Noah some years ago as a method to quickly transport troops should the need arise.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's quite smart, actually.
Maybe we can have somebody teleport here and then
What is
teleport.
it?
Was it Edmund?
Or spy, indeed.
I think so. The young halfling
Yes.
gentleman? Yes. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
his name.
He's the intro to magic teacher.
Well, that said, sir, we shall take no more of your dinner or lunch or breakfast. What's that?
Breakfast, sir.
It is
Okay.
breakfast. We'll take no more of your breakfast.
Well,
Right.
I have matters to attend to,
Mhm.
but for your service, the attendants will obviously get you pay. If you wait momentarily, one of my attendants will return to patch.
Well, do you
You
want
up.
us to help you with the sewer thing?
Let me dwell on it a moment and see what manner of people I can pull. I have already.
Because we're still stuck here, apparently.
Maybe a more personal matter for them as well.
I,
Miss
Feel
me.
great
I can
justification by sending their own.
While I'm not opposed to the idea, let me look at the numbers first and come up with an idea or strategy.
And we're always happy to assist as well,
Yeah.
especially if perhaps in a way to pay to attempt to get a message to someone who can activate the teleportation circle
Yeah,
one
yeah.
way and then back the other. Even if it takes a night. A night is we lose a
I
month
mean,
on
I'm
a
fine.
ship.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not much of a consolation, but I had intended for you to use the private beach with food if you so desired. That was going to be one of my offers as a reward. But let my man patch you up and get you some manner of potion. Or I think we have some in the stores to spare. But if you are so inclined, if you'd like to rest and recover on the beach, kind of like looks at his non-existent watch for a minute, and then he kind of looks outside and he's like, "You may use it for the remainder of the day if that is something you're
That's
interested
very
in."
nice, yeah.
Um,
Good place to rest.
We never got our picnic.
my attendants can bring out food and all manner of
Oh.
stuff for you.
We have
Thank
an
you.
errand to take care of first, but then we'll come back.
Well, let me get my man to assist you
Of
quickly.
course. Thank you.
At which point the gentleman returns with the looking glass.
Mm.
He's like, "Is this?"
The mirror, that's right. Oh, man. Jeez.
13 going on 13.
So I look at about 16 here. Alright, I mean, I can work with this.
It's not a large difference.
Yeah, I mean,
Mostly it's the height.
well, yeah,
Your bust is
Thank you.
smaller.
He looks at the attendant. He's like, "Could you get the other
that's rude.
gentleman to get my?" Now, I hate to ask you this
Mm.
specifically. However, I recreationally brew potions.
Mm.
So I could give you one of our store reserve ones, or you could try one of my more experimental concoctions.
Sir, I am prepared fully
Oh.
to engage in experimental brewery.
Excellent.
Is this for
We will get it.
the scaliness or the healing?
For the healing.
Do you...
Something I've been meaning to try, but
I
haven't really
wouldn't
had
know.
cause.
I wouldn't.
Nothing.
They're talking about this, sir.
Don't kill him!
You notice his face doesn't react at all. Yes, my sketch artist regaled me with the images
Mhm.
and the accounts.
Yes.
And you say, according to him, that they did that to you.
Hmm.
It
We
was a curse.
first engaged them in a farm outside
Patel.
of Lavra.
Patel.
I don't fucking know what
It is. The Alavra will become Patel.
Yeah,
When they
yeah.
separate, and new Alavra will be born, and that's where the kingdom will be set up.
Farm.
On the farmlands. We engaged one in combat, and before I could strike it down, it killed itself.
He
and
was
spoke to me
very
in
wily,
some manner of lizards.
the evil one.
Well, I'm afraid I have no concoction for curses, but maybe you should speak to Father Faust at the Temple of the Skybreaker.
Oh,
Maybe he can assist you.
Is the temple in town or at the port?
No, it's in town.
Is there a temple at the port?
No,
Okay.
I don't believe so. We've not really been much of those, and I don't allow the Sedla cultists to set up shop here.
I don't take sides, but I approve of that.
So, the Temple of the Skybreaker, we don't have many followers of that here either.
Right.
But when people need to speak to a priest, and that is where they go.
That
Maybe
sounds
sounds
like a
impressive.
fantastic idea.
some manner of curse alleviation. At least he would be your foremost. So, as the gentleman arrives, he kind of brings out like a healer's kit, basically this bag, this medical bag, and with it he produces 2 potions to the Duke. One is like that dark crimson red that you're familiar with seeing on potions, and the other one is this strange sort of reddish green color, and it almost seems to be like brimming out of itself, and it's like moving inside the vial. And he grabs the one that's moving, and he's like, "I'm not quite sure the side effects
God damn it, that's the
that
theme
this
today.
may have. However, it should very much so
That's what happened
cure
to me.
your wounds."
Try it.
I am
absolutely
excited.
intend to.
He hands it to you,
Hell yeah.
at which point the attendant kind of escorts you off to the side, back to the study area. They just take you off to the side. They he sits you down, and he begins very carefully bandaging up all of your wounds, and he's applying like all right. Yeah, there's this weird frothing, and then there's this bubbling over for a minute that kind of like comes over the side of your hand. It's warm to the touch. The smell is unique because there are traces of this scent of very pleasant, almost natural odor to it that's very appeasing, and then there's this undercurrent of just awful, just this like stench, almost like
Burning hair.
something is yeah, like they're not mixing well, so you're getting one or the other.
You're swallowing like
Apple
oil and
pie
vinegar
and
together.
sewage.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
speak to the attendant while staring at the bottle. You know, I'm only doing this in hopes that it will put us in better graces.
do it!
She followed along.
Oh, I thought we were in the same room. I'm sorry, but I do want to see.
I'll follow as well. I'm very curious.
Come on!
Even the Duke follows. He wants to see what the hell's gonna happen.
He becomes 16 years older.
Okay. As you drink it down, there's that repulsiveness that almost feels like a tickle in the back of your throat from it, and you regain 10 health, 10 HP. And then after a couple little chancy burps, nothing happens.
Yet. What happened? Did you grow like hair any weird places, or like? Can you,
How was your
like,
mind?
see
Can
through
you
us
still
now?
speak?
Can you speak? Oh my
Drag a
god!
tail.
It took away the speaking. This would be a good opportunity to fuck with us. By the way.
In deep speech,
What the fuck? Are you gonna hurt my brain?
I will say,
Oh.
Lucrezia, what is your problem?
Ew, that sounds bad.
Is that like when
What are
somebody
you
speaks
saying?
Japanese but then says an English word in it?
Oh yeah, like right in the middle, there's just.
You said my name.
What?
Say it.
Lucrezia.
It sounds like he's speaking
You sound
evil
like-
fish.
You sound like you're eating soup and talking at the same time. What did you say to me? No, he can't speak English now. What did you do to him?
The Duke is just kind of sitting there and he goes, I'm not sure if that's a side effect or not. I don't believe so.
And then in Elvish.
What do you?
Well, no, I'm not
Okay, what
really.
do you say in Elvish?
In Elvish, I will say, Ich bin nicht krank.
I know Elvish, so what are you saying?
I just said, in Elvish, Ich bin
I'm gonna turn to
What
you,
does that mean?
and I was saying Elvis. Oh, he's fine.
I guess he's
And
fine.
I'm
I'll
gonna
say
go.
that in
I'm gonna
Elvish
turn to
as
the
well.
Duke, and in comments like, oh, he's fine.
Oh. Ah, well. Good.
I'll say in Elvish. Do you know Elvish?
Do you know Elvish?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
What?
Elvish.
Never mind. I was just seeing what you
No, I'm afraid I do not.
You speak Elvish?
That's the only other language I speak for now until like 13th level or something.
I
Then
speak
know
a lot of languages.
all the things.
I'm like C-3PO, but not as cool.
Oh, you're pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you're cooler.
Oh, yeah, 13th level. I will be able to understand all spoken languages.
All right, we'll learn sign language.
That would be fucking cool. And weird. How do you like explain the abilities we get as we level up?
No, it's just more experience, and you try out new things.
And sometimes God steps in.
He's some good shit.
Sometimes Cog steps in.
Gives you that God shit.
All right,
You're 100% on screen.
that's fine. I'm trying to
So,
Picture the
oh,
doty.
he's
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now.
Hold on.
Holy
Well, first you
shit.
started out like under the chair.
So,
So, as the Duke stands there, he's like, "Well, I hope that that goes well for you. Sorry for your loss. Should you decide to use the beach, you are permitted to do so for the remainder of the day. However, should our business be concluded, I have no reason for you to return to the keep, I'm afraid.
more than fine.
So should I need your services, I will send someone to come find you. Should you still be in the city? If you would like to send a message,
I would.
I will have you leave it with the attendant, and he will reach out to the falconer.
But we
See
can
if we're
come
not using
back.
anything for communication.
We can come back
Before
later.
we eat and rest, I think they require some raw meat.
You don't have any horse meat, do you?
We'll go to the butcher's.
Don't believe we do.
Okay. It's a for a pet.
That's it, sir. For your time and the potion, it was good. A little chancy. Feel pretty good.
Excellent.
More of that.
Do you want something else aside from a net?
We can.
I'm sorry that we keep asking you stuff of you. We're just not used to dealing with people who can do things. So,
Thank you, sir.
Sorry about that.
We will vacate and take care of the rest of our business, and we hope to hear from you soon.
At which point he exits out.
we'll come back
Excuses
later
himself.
for the beach, though.
Yeah, you said you have all
Yeah.
Okay,
day.
well, I just want to make
All
sure
day.
because you said we're really.
Okay, what's the plan?
I will depart.
Mm-hmm. You guys head out.
I will go to Griselda's
Okay.
We need meat.
and go to the butcher's. Knives on deck's back.
She needs money if you're going anywhere.
No, I'm sad too, but.
I need money as well. I lost all but what I had on.
So wait,
Oh, that's sad.
you didn't see where Raw went?
he was in the boat with you when we were returning. When we hit the deck, he drug you out of the boat and set you on the dock. And then there was a large number of people, and there was a big crowd, and there was a lot of confusion, and I pulled you off to the side, and then they were taking the stick to the house. I threw you over my head and took you there. I didn't look back for him. I assumed he was fine. He seemed up and up. I don't know where he went.
So we're all broken now.
It's not unusual. In fact, I think we were overdue for it.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I mean that you're not the first companion I've had in these journeys.
You're not
Yeah.
my first teammate. She
I
tried
know.
to kill me.
Who?
Also, he came here with
Your
Rob.
teammate?
If he knew where Rob was, if anyone knew where Rob was, it'd be him over anybody else here. Came from the same city.
Oh, okay.
Although I suppose you wouldn't know that.
No.
No, you
Oh
wouldn't
wait,
when they
you
got
might
here.
have talked about it, right? Didn't
don't
you guys
think
travel
so.
together?
No, we.
Yeah, they
often-
did.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's really mentioned it to the group except for when they first showed up.
But I mean,
in
like,
town.
I wonder if they discussed it like when they were traveling together. At first.
You know, Rob may have said something once
I
or
was
twice.
gonna say, yeah, you guys were like 26 days on a road
Yeah.
together.
Well, that and like
Some
before,
basic
didn't you come into this adventure together, you and Rob? Or was it him?
To an extent.
Like
And
this whole thing?
we met up on the caravan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Yeah,
of
so-
Raw will be Raw, and if he comes back, he comes back.
He did make it off the boat. He made it to the shore. He made it to the harbor onto the dock.
I mean,
That's what I know.
where would he go? Do you think he went back to like the hotel or something?
Well, that's possible. Although it is also possible that everything we've done has been incredibly dangerous, and this time it claimed what looked like 2 lives.
Mm-hmm.
We only just found him.
I'm glad you're okay.
Rob may not have been okay with that. That may have hit him harder than it hits us.
I'll give you Zongak's stuff, and then you gotta get meat.
Take some of Zongak's gold. He would have wanted you to have it.
Yeah. I don't know how much he has. We don't have his stuff.
He has a lot. I'd say take 50 gold. And
Wait,
call
did
it
you
okay.
give? Do you have his stuff
He
inventory?
did not give me his inventory, but I know he has
Oh,
a fair bit.
Well, did he give you his gold?
That was in his bag.
The attendant returns with 2, 4, 6, 8,000 gold.
Each?
200 each.
Oh, 200 each. Okay. Okay.
Also, Zongak has 30 pounds of food,
Do you want to write this down? Since I gave you his bag, or no?
a small suit,
I know.
5 shirts, 2 water skins, and 3 magic items, which you have the cards for.
Oh yeah, right here.
I don't know if you have those things.
I don't have sail. Right?
I'll say it was
No.
stuck to the side. It wasn't in the pack though.
Okay.
I wanted to specify
I
that
have
it
a
wasn't in the pack, so you
flail.
didn't just stuff it in there.
I have a hat, and I have Belvin.
Oh, you have Belvin?
Yeah.
I will take Belvin off your hands.
Okay. What did
Thank
you?
you,
You said you found stuff on the
Actually,
ship.
if you don't mind, I might need that for light.
Well, then we can share.
Yeah, me
them.
too.
It's not like when he puts things in there, they're gonna go away.
No, I mean, if moving forward, I'll probably be our frontliner, and
Fair.
you tend to be more.
I was going to talk to it for a while.
Oh,
I
by
saw
all means.
Zongak talk to it, and I wanted to ask it some questions.
By all means.
He likes to talk.
Yeah.
When we get into our next encounter.
He doesn't require attunement, does he?
No, I don't think so. It
Should
means,
say on top.
Light, 20 feet bright, 20 feet dim, can ask it questions.
Yes. As long as
Oh,
you're
you
the
know,
only one who can hold it, can hear it though.
Yes.
That's the-
What was I saying? Something about
3 magic items, 30 pounds of food.
20 pounds of food. Okay, great.
30 pounds of food.
30
Oh, you're
pounds
right,
of
right.
food.
Shit. Can't
I
remember.
have a backpack again.
Something about his stuff. I don't know. Never mind.
I
Okay.
don't remember.
Yeah.
I added that note to Belvin's head.
That's it.
Belvin.
Oh, what stuff did you get off the ship? You said you got stuff from the ship?
I did. And to lessen the blow of Zongak, I have this. I was holding this for you. I don't want to make use of it.
What is this?
It's a pistol.
Oh!
I'm handing you a pistol.
Thank you, cool.
Flintlock.
I haven't had one of these in a
A
while.
pirate flintlock.
Nice.
And it's baller.
So, we're still in the castle, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
we have a
well,
because
like-
I'm staying in the castle to talk to the attendant.
I'll
about
get
Jelly.
used to like the weight of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
I have no way to carry it. I have no ammo.
Ah.
I tried shooting with it, and it didn't.
Alright, well, I guess I'll just take these sacks and we'll split them up 3 ways.
This is
1,000
Do
how
we
gold?
have to do it right now?
Yeah, we need to go buy things.
I mean, do we have to like split it all up right now?
No, we can leave it in the bag for now. It's fine.
I guess he doesn't need a suit, huh? The one, the fire one?
Wherever we end up, it's not fire anything. It's just a suit at the moment.
Plus, who
Very
knows?
well
Our-
made.
we might find somebody else that's small like him.
We
that
might,
they
or
can
we
train.
might make a shrine to him.
They're
when
not
we return
wearing
to
his
Vatella.
clothes. That's ghoulish.
At least it's not garish.
Right after Labor Day.
Yeah. Hideous.
So,
Thank you.
off
for
with
giving
you.
us
I'll
by
wait
the
for this
way.
attendant. Yeah, I mean, I think you'll get more use out of it than I
I'll
will.
stash the gold, give
Yeah,
him
Who's
2,
useful?
give her 2,
Yeah.
I'll take 2, the rest will stay in Zongak's bag.
Wait,
Okay.
so wait, we just got 200 gold.
Yep. You got
And
200 gold.
Do you? No, you used this.
I'm not taking anything.
You didn't take
At
it?
the moment.
Oh, from the Duke? The 200 gold from Duke?
Oh, from the Duke?
Yeah, he
Yep.
gets
Oh.
He gave it 1,000 gold total, but it's 200 gold
Yeah.
each.
And I divvied it up.
He divvied it up.
Just real quick, I got the rest.
Yeah.
You had
Two
five.
six.
You had 5 party members originally.
Zongek and Ra.
So did he not? He gave us like.
He
He
gave
gave
us
us,
theirs
he
as
gave us
well.
each a portion.
Yeah.
And I gave you 2.
He gave me 200.
Right.
So he gave me 400.
I gave you 2.
Alright, 400.
I gave you 200.
He gave you his portion from the Duke.
Okay. You don't take it?
He
No,
did
no.
take it,
No,
but he's
no.
giving
I
you
took
some money
mine.
from
I
Zongek.
gave you
Oh,
his.
from Zongak.
I
Okay.
gave you yours, I gave him his, and the other 2
It's from Zongak.
are in the bag with me.
Okay.
Yeah, he just put them in like a party fund.
Gotcha.
That makes
Okay.
sense? So you only got 200.
Okay.
I'd put it in a treasure chest, but I'm afraid our ship will do that.
LOL.
That's not cool.
Did anybody grab anything from the captains? Somebody grab maps and what else?
Raw had all the maps.
Anybody
I
grab the
took-
book
I took the punch buckler. He's got the sword and the gun.
Which book?
in the chest with the gold? There was a book in there.
I-
Probably, if I did, and I don't recall taking
I don't
it,
think you did.
I actually don't remember there being a book.
I don't remember there being a book either. I just took the things off his clothing.
Yeah, there was like clothing, unmentionables, book, and gold.
I don't think anybody
I
did.
took the gold.
You did take the gold? I thought you did not.
Well, it's
The
gone
gold
now.
Broke.
The gold was.
Yeah, but I thought you were
Well,
like,
the
I'll get
gold's
back to
gone.
that later and not do that.
It was in his bag.
It was like
Oh, it was in your bag.
105 gold.
So even if somebody had taken the book, it would have been him, and it's
But I'm
Gone.
Or it would have been Raw. 'cause I
yeah.
would've
Raw
tossed
may
it.
have taken the book.
I
He
would've
went
tossed
through.
it.
I mean,
he
I
tossed
feel
through
like
his
Raw would take the book, honestly.
No. I mean, I told him to shove the maps in, so
Yeah.
if he had the book, I would have thrown it to him. Put this in there too.
Maybe
And
he has.
I don't think I did that.
No.
Because I don't remember.
I think you just grabbed the maps.
Yeah.
For the sake of argument, we'll say that the book and the maps are in Zongak's pack since Ra was
just
holding
shoved.
on to it.
Okay.
Oh, he
Shoving
stuffed
it.
them in there.
Fuck, he would have, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just
Yay.
like, look at the
I'll stuff
original.
that shit in there. We'll deal with it later.
Yeah, 'cause it's not now.
Let's get the
Yeah.
fuck out of the Duke's
Go.
house.
All right.
I'm staying. I'll
So
meet
you,
you here. Yeah, I need to talk to the attendant about sending a message to the first.
No, that's right. Okay.
We'll meet at the inn.
The attendant actually, when he returns,
Yeah.
With
I don't want to like correct you in case you're doing it.
when as he
I
sees
am.
them leaving, the attendant returns, and he bows and he's just like, "I'm deeply sorry to tell you, the Lady Duchess says that she is unable to cast any spell that would reach them. However, we do have the falconry does have some available. So if you have a letter to write, we can send it
Yes,
post haste."
if you would give me some parchment,
Provides
I would
everything
love to
for you.
write one. And I will. Here, you want to give me a? Oh,
Yeah.
here, I'll write on pink. I got pink.
Okay.
So weird that you read
Got that. Them pink slips, huh?
that.
So, perfect script. Like a little printer. So, with that being said, Ma
Looks blocky.
and Lucrezia, you guys head out. Where you guys heading?
To the butcher, and then you wanted to go somewhere else.
I want to swing by Griselda's.
Griselda's. All right.
Whatever
So,
good that was.
the-
Take the meat and
the
warm it up.
Okay.
the meat was what? a silver per pound or something? I think
Well, I
somebody
mean,
said.
if we still got 30 pounds, I'm pretty sure they'll still eat it.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I don't have. I only had 8 pounds, and it's gone off my inventory.
Yeah, but Zongak had it.
So
30
I bought
pounds.
a fuckload of meat.
But
For-
do you know what kind?
Yeah,
The
just
kind that they'll eat.
meat.
But
meat.
they like. They
But
like
it's
some
meat.
best.
So they like elk.
No, they like horse, and elk does. Come on, if you're gonna feed them, you gotta know what they like. That's why you get bit more often than me.
You are younger. You're not.
I am still the same age. My body is just not the same age. So
Yeah.
don't talk to me like I'm a kid.
I can see that.
You can't see anything. Alright, let's go. Alright, so we're going meat. We're not getting meat now? Okay, we're going to Griselda's. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys head
What are you doing?
out. You take a right down the cobblestone path and begin walking towards where you remember Griselda's. As you approach, you notice that the door to the place is currently open. It was left open. She didn't close it after you guys left. She's kind of looking around, and you see that there's a stick that she has like laying on the counter that she's kind of like eyeballing nastily. You know?
Wait, I guess we weren't gone that long though.
No, you weren't gone that long. She hasn't done anything to the shop. She left it
Except
open.
for look at this.
She's not picking nothing up. Come on now. Okay, so what are you guys doing? As you enter, she doesn't even seem to notice. She's just like she's like messing with things on the counter, like kind of like moving stuff around. Occasionally, she'll throw something into a pile, almost like her version of restocking. And then occasionally, she'll just like whip around and look at the stick for a minute, like suspiciously, like it's gonna make another sound.
Andy, what are you doing?
I am shopping.
Okay, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for bedroll, blanket. Basically, I'm just gonna try and resupply myself.
Okay, what are you looking for first?
Bedroll.
I was gonna say you can throw a D20.
There are no signs of a
He finds a
bedroll.
Dungeoneer's pack right there.
Fair enough. Blanket.
There are no signs of a blanket anywhere.
Sweet. Tinderbox.
Which one?
Tinderbox.
There is a tinderbox
Doesn't
stuffed in
Dawn
one of the
have
corners as you begin like rummaging through.
Sweet.
Did we get the shovel and the pickaxe?
Probably
We got
not.
hunting traps to
Okay. Are there any lanterns?
There are no lanterns that you see.
What about torches?
There are 2 torches.
2 torches. Yep. Are there any rations?
Yes, she does actually have it. You remember earlier you guys bought a bunch from her. But as you're looking around, you find like one here, and then you go across the room and you find another one over here, and like these little like packages, these little paper wraps.
I just want to like look around in general.
How many
Like,
would I have found?
Probably about 3,
3.
because she did give you guys a bunch already.
Yeah.
I just want to
there's
look
a
around at
sea.
the random stuff she has.
Down at the
Make an
bottom of the
investigation
sea.
What do you look for specifically though?
No, I just like taking in like
She has
like
piles of stuff.
like I want to see like the weirdest items or like she has any weapons, like just weird stuff. I'm gonna take in the weird stuff. Cause wasn't there like a weird doll? Did you buy that thing?
Did she have a
I
tent?
did.
Huh?
Did she have tent, pickaxe, and hunting trap? No, that's at the blacksmith.
Tent? Yes.
Tent.
That is a 20 for investigation.
You spell Galerin.
Gallloren.
Spell it wrong. I'm gonna have those backwards.
What about a mess kit?
A mess kit. Yes.
Son of a bitch.
You're just like picking stuff up, and occasionally something will fall out of something else, and you're like, oh, yeah, that.
I need this.
And then you grab that too.
Okay.
20 for investigation.
20 for investigation. Looking around, you. Let me pull up my thing on her shop real quick. Specifics for her shop. She's not as fun as the randomness of the shop.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this computer decided to stop fucking functioning.
Really? Froze?
Just being a fucking pain in the ass.
We gotta get I don't know if we can do this here, but we gotta find ammo for this thing. Pat with gun. Which I imagine is on.
Let's see if she has it.
What are you looking for, dear?
Well, I'm just like looking around at your stuff, but you don't have any ammo, right?
You need for that?
Yeah.
I think I got a powder horn somewhere in here. Somewhere in here.
Okay.
And some shot you can probably just get commissioned from the blacksmith. It's just pouring some balls, right? Just steel balls.
I don't know how to make the stuff. I just.
And then you need flint.
Yeah, I guess so.
Probably find that all over.
I think I got that too somewhere in here.
Speaking of which, do you have a pickaxe?
Oh, honey.
Yes, she does.
Actually, she does. Yeah, she
She
picked
threw
one
it
up.
across
She
the
threw
river.
one up earlier.
Alright, and what
She's
about
like, it's on top of the pile. I know where that is.
What about hunting trap?
I hope not.
Oh wait.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
thought we got
You know, dearie, I think I might have one. Just be really careful when you're looking for it.
I thought
I don't remember if I had it set or not.
Oh Jesus. We did, and then all of it ended up in the sea, down at the bottom.
Not all of it, I'm sure.
Down at the bottom
is it
of
your
the
stuff?
sea.
Did you lose all your stuff?
Yeah, he lost everything.
Except for what I had on me.
Nice.
Oh fuck! I need a new adventures bag.
Oh no, no, they're not gonna let you in.
as you're looking around for weird stuff in the you find what appears to be almost like it's like a water skin with a cap on it. And as you pick it up, you almost hear like sand moving back and forth in it. And that is a powder horn.
Okay.
That it costs 35 gold.
Okay.
But it gives you enough to reload your for a while.
Okay.
And I'll let you know when it's out.
Okay. So I'll pick that up, and you said I'll pick up the flint.
You need to still look for the flint. She said it's in here somewhere. But
Okay.
it's in
Well,
there.
I'll look for that, but also the weed tea.
Well, the best part about that is it'll only go empty when you need it.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'll actually write out how many uses it has.
No, I just mean like an action movie.
Yeah.
So I'll
Need
do
to
it-
reload.
It'll
So
run
I'm
out
having an ammo
climactically.
until it's like the final
I'll
shot of
throw.
the bat.
I'll throw the pirate gun and pick up another pirate gun off my waist.
And the last thing I need
Mm-hmm.
is some stretch of fabric that I could use as a replacement kefir. Use this net while endearing is wanted.
She looks at your head, flips a couple things over, goes into the back, into her bedroom, starts rifling around.
Oh, Jesus.
She comes out with a scarf that's like very nice, very pretty. It's like an azure blue with some like it's got like this red, like threading through it on the outside edges. And she's like, "This is mine from my younger days. Just wear it as a shawl."
How much you want for it? If you're willing to part.
15 gold. She folds it up neatly
Yeah.
and she places it out. It's the price of fine clothing.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, I will put all this shit on her counter to purchase. And I have the running total, if you would like it.
Yes.
It's going to be 24 gold, 22 silver, and 2 copper. So whatever tax you would like to apply to that.
Oh, no, she doesn't have it. She doesn't have the quality thing because she just kind of has everything.
Fair enough.
So out of the items that you're kind of peeking around and finding, you happen to find a tomahawk
Okay.
style axe that looks a little bizarre. It's like this warped wood handle that curves kind of back almost like a climbing axe in a way, and then it has this like well-made tomahawk style head on it.
No, it's not gonna like this.
And you notice it's kind of like light.
I'll hold on to it for now.
And then the other thing that's weird in the shop is there is a like gnarled like quarterstaff almost that stick that she was holding that's on the counter that seems suspicious.
Oh yeah, I was earlier with that. Okay. Then I'll look for Flint too.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check, please.
Let me see. No. 5.
5. Looking around, you don't even know. You're looking for the actual flint caps, that go on the actual back, like the hammer of the gun,
Yeah.
and you're just like, and she's just kind of like, it's in here somewhere, dearie.
Hey, what's this? Sorry to interrupt your search there, but what's this do? The tomahawk. This thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
Jesus. Oh gosh, that. Where did I find that? Well, you notice that it is a very fluid motion. The weapon itself is light. It has the finesse property,
Okay.
so it's a hand axe that can be used with dex as well.
Does it like? I'm gonna turn it over. Does it have any like markings or anything?
It seems to just be this almost like waxwood style, like it's very smooth almost, and then the axe head seems almost like a light sort of colored silverish steel, but like polished steel, almost reflective. And she's looking at it and she's like, I believe that does something. It's got some sort of It was a trade from a traveler.
Well, I know that guy.
Hey, I was gonna tell you about him. I literally was thinking about it. Did he
Maybe.
look like a kind of earthy, kind of like he lived in the woods, but he was clean?
No.
Oh. There's a guy like that, and then he has all this stuff he trades, and he goes from town to town trading stuff.
Well, he had a stick with a
Yeah,
floating.
but he didn't trade. He like pull his stuff out, and they just kind of stay there, and he trades.
Well, he just had it in a pack when I saw him. He didn't
What
have a
does that
coat or
too?
earthy. Just wearing clothing. He looked normal.
Well, he looked like he came like from the woods.
No. Black hair.
Maybe.
What was his name? Started with an M, I believe.
Melvin.
No,
Actually.
that doesn't sound right.
Tree guy.
Yeah, come on.
Tree guy.
That's what I have written.
Is
Oh yes, but that axe is quite unique.
all right. How much do you want for it?
Oh my. That one's gonna cost you a bit.
Like how
Mine.
much?
You say that out loud?
Yeah.
Yes, that gentleman.
Yeah,
Nice
that
guy.
Yeah.
Real.
Maybe
Myriam?
Paradol.
Um, I don't think he quite knew what he had. We just traded. I gave him some stuff for his journey, some food, and some other things. He just kind of handed it to me. Not very good at trading that one,
Yeah.
but I can see some good. That one and this thing. This thing's just deceptive.
What's that thing? Is it the stick?
Quarterstaff. Yeah.
Yeah, the quarterstaff. It's basically like a staff, like a wizard staff. It makes
Alright.
noises randomly. That's what it does.
Wow.
It's weird.
Okay.
Scam it.
Well,
You can also
yeah.
make noises too. I don't.
How much do you want for this thing?
Oh, that'll run you probably like 300-400 gold, probably.
This three? I mean, do you know what it does? You just got it for free, right?
I know what it
That
does.
seems pretty steep for you getting it for free.
Well, she's also selling it.
I mean, it's a time of war, and I had to trade for it, darling.
I just don't know if you don't know exactly what it does, right?
I know what it does.
I just feel like you know what it does.
Yeah.
What's it do?
Well, I'm definitely not doing it in here. It would be rather destructive. It explodes when it hits things.
But does it disappear then?
No. It's resilient to its own explosion. It's quite fascinating. I made the mistake of blowing up my shed when I used it earlier.
I'm
Gotta chop some
gonna
wood.
open the door. Well, the door's already open. I'm gonna look out there and see what's around.
All houses.
Now that I am
There's
remastered,
no poles.
I'm going to approach her. Young lady, please don't throw that outside this door.
I'm gonna sock him in the shoulder.
She just like decks you in the shoulder. Chow.
I'm not a young lady. I'm still the same age. I just look younger.
You seem to be acting like it too.
You're acting younger.
Can I have the axe back?
What do you mean back? You didn't even pick it up.
Can I have the axe, please? Grazie.
What do you want it for?
So that I can return it to its owner.
You're gonna give. He traded it. He's.
The axe, young lady, please.
She's the owner.
I'll give it back to you. Don't call me young lady anymore. And what if I want to buy it?
Are you going to buy it?
I don't know. Look, okay. I'll be honest with you. I only have like 200 gold, and I can show you how much I have.
It's a bad way to haggle. Go
I
on.
It's whatever. I only have 200 gold, and I still need to buy some stuff. Is there any way you're willing to go cheaper on this thing? Now you did get it for free, and I don't
200
know who
gold.
else is gonna buy it. What?
200 gold.
I don't want to be poor again.
Plus, you got a friend here. He's spending money.
Yeah, but
Maybe he can help you.
No.
oh, please.
No.
What about? How much is a platinum?
10 gold.
I want to see it explode. You want to see it explode stuff?
Not really.
Fuck.
Lou, we generally operate.
I'm done.
She put it down.
Thank you. Grazie.
Maybe could have used that.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, could have used it.
Oh man, don't say that.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
said it was a
afford
finesse
I
it.
said it's a finesse
Yeah.
weapon.
I can't afford a literal one.
200 gold. All yours.
You don't want to have an exploding weapon?
No! I want him to have it even less.
Why?
Because somehow I seem to be the sole voice of
He
reason.
gave me a cool gun though. I gotta pay him back.
Then pay him back.
I don't want to spend all my gold again.
You don't want to pay him back, do you? I'm finished when you're ready.
You're the worst dad, aren't you?
You don't want this staff? Anybody want a staff?
No,
Pretty magical. Does fun things.
thank you. But no.
What does it do? Aside from make sounds.
Nope. Mm-hmm. It makes sounds. You can make bird noises
Supposedly.
with it. You can point at things and make bird noises with it.
Can you give us a demonstration? Since you can't give us a demonstration of the axe.
And then she like points it at the corner, and from the corner you hear this like,
Can it make a griffin noise?
no. It can make an eagle sound. That's kind of close, right?
I don't think so.
It's like she like points it. It's pretty magical.
Thank you.
All right. She goes to set it down, and she does. You hear this like jumps.
Give her 200 gold!
She
God
takes it.
damn it!
Thank you, dearie. And then she hands you the axe.
Maybe someday I'll put the axe away.
And then she goes behind the counter and sets it in her little lockbox.
Do you feel better now?
No!
And why don't you feel better?
Because I need money and I don't have any money in it again!
So do you think maybe the axe was an unnecessary
No,
purchase?
because they didn't give me a cool weapon, I should give him a cool weapon.
Have you even talked to Theta and see if he wants an exploding hand axe?
I'm sure he does.
Do you? He's very stealthy and generally attacks from afar with a bow. Are you sure?
He could
You didn't want the exploding hand axe?
No, I did it first. But then a voice from above said the baby
You
thing.
can both use it. You could use it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it as well.
You're
It's a
proficient
simple
in the simple weapons. So is he.
Alright. We
Are
gotta
you
go
sure
feed some
You
birds.
didn't want it.
We gotta feed some birds!
I'm aware of
Did I
that.
get my flip?
Did you look for the
Did
flip?
you?
I
You
did
didn't.
look,
You didn't
but I
do
didn't
well.
find
You're
it.
gonna need maybe his help or her help to find it.
Is there anywhere else in town to get flip?
There's nobody that specializes in that. This town doesn't use guns normally. The fact that she has it is a miracle.
I mean, could
Hell, they
like,
don't really
they
even have
light stuff
minerals
with flip?
either.
Yeah, but
Huh.
Not
Central
prepared
Park.
in the right.
Okay.
The flint cap has flint paper and other things into it, so
Will
it
you let me
actually.
look for flip before we go feed the griffins?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so make an investigation check at advantage, please.
you not find a flint today?
No, not
That's
today.
a Uno and a Quattro.
All right, with that, we are gonna go ahead and call it there.
Why? We still have time.
That's the end of the episode.
Aww.
I gave you the note, right?
Yes, I have it right here. Thank you. All right, guys. So thanks for hanging out with us. We are going to go down for a minute. We'll come back up for a brief second to do a little bit of a talk back. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and hang out for a minute as we go down and do some teardown, and then we'll come back up. So thanks for hanging out with us. We will be right back. So
You can give me anything I want.
let me go ahead. All right, here we go.
Hey, we're back.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Well, someone
What's
was
that little guy?
Where is the
All right, so to answer your question, sir,
Yeah.
the guy in the scarf is in character. That his character does wear a
This is
headscarf.
privacy stuff.
It's definitely not privacy stuff.
No,
So,
he comes from a land where they cover their faces up. It's a desert, basically. And then he started turning into a lizard person, and he wanted to carry that through in his character. And I mean, it seems a little silly sometimes, but it really makes it mean more when he pulls it off. I completely see the
Yeah.
reasoning behind it for him.
So yeah. So at the end of every session, we usually do a talk back. We talk about D&D, we talk about the game, talk about characters, classes, anything going on in this setting. We usually try to do that at the end of every session. So we'll be here for a little bit. If you want to ask questions about the setting, the game, any mechanics or any rules or anything, or you just want to talk about your home game or your home characters, feel free to throw it in chat. We can see it. There might be a little bit of a delay, but we will answer as soon as we notice. I have a Sheba under my chair. All right.
You went under it?
Yeah, that was a weird interaction. Way to go, Sheba. So yeah, today was a bit of a reel coming back from the last session.
Yeah. Well, last
But
session was chaos and
now,
sadness, and this is dealing with it.
Lucrezia's 16. That was completely random.
I like that.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was really happy with how that played out.
Yeah.
I forgot to do Ma's thing, but Ma is feeling
Oh.
better, so that's good.
You forgot to do Paul's thing? What do you mean?
The potion keeps
Yeah.
healing him
Oh,
for a
shit.
while.
Okay.
Every so often he's gonna get
Shit.
healed again.
I figured that potion.
Do you have let me give you a card so you can write down the magic weapon. So
Okay.
since you
a
got it.
magical weapon? Oh, the axe.
Only caught in a few minutes. Can you explain the setting? Yes.
Yeah.
The so the world that they're currently in, or the continent they're currently on, is the continent of Alavra. It is the premier sort of magic.
The entire thing is homebrewed from our DM's imagination, from his imagination. We've been playing this game for 3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years.
And we played in this world for 3 years. A previous game took place, and we've jumped 15 years forward to play different characters, but keep it with all the history because it makes a lot of sense to us.
Okay, it's finesse though.
Go on.
Finesse.
What mic is that?
I have no idea what mic this is.
Audio label.
Oh shit.
I told you to label them.
All right, there we go.
I
Sorry.
gave you
Oh,
tape
I
to
thought
label
he
them.
was
No worries.
asking.
So they're currently on the continent of Alavra. They're currently embroiled in a place is embroiled in a war with lizardmen. Alavra is sort of a smallish continent with a mountain range that runs through it. The main capital is on the coastline right now, but they're in the process of relocating it. They've been building a new city, or at least a new keep that they're going to start building the city around, and then they're looking to move. But the party has so far prevented the main capital from being basically absconded, like being taken into another dimension called the Dreamscape.
That's close.
Yeah. From there, they did a brief adventure in the Dreamscape where people played different characters due to some shenanigans that transpired, and they accidentally went deeper in than they meant to.
Some of them did.
Some of them did, but yeah, Alavra itself is a premier magic town with a long history of elf and human interaction and conflict.
And basically, there's two big continents. There's one that looks like Russia, and then there's a little bit of like almost an Africa off to the side of it. And then on the other side, on the east side of that, there's another continent that looks like Iceland on its side, or Greenland. Greenland on its side. Looks like Greenland on its side with a little bit of extra. And then there's ocean all around that, and nobody's ever traveled further than that. They've tried. People have left and gone off to seek their fortunes and everything, and nobody ever came back.
Hand axes are normally light, but is this one finesse because it's all...
It's light and finesse. It has a finesse property to it.
Okay, cool.
So, right now the party went, so they did that beginning, and then they got, the Lizardman invaded from the Underdark. Lizardman came up, and they began pouring out of the mountains and attacking. In previous stream, it looks like you had more player characters. Did they die off? Actually, yes. So, what happened was, this session has less people only because one of our players' characters died, and so instead of shoehorning him in immediately, I wanted to let the players get in character, get
Deal
some
with
of
that a
their
bit.
I feel
deal
bad
with that a
because I
bit.
feel like we didn't really get to do that. I mean, we kind of did.
Well, I
but-
mean, it's still not dealt with, and it'll be
Yeah.
dealt with later on. I've got some stuff that Theta's going to go through with it. So
But I wanted him to have a session with that. So he wasn't here. That player wasn't here. And then our other player it has some stuff going on offline. So for right now, they're not going to be here. So there's only going to be 4 people for the most part. Randomly, we'll have the 5th one rejoin while he does his thing. But the other player will be back next week with a new character.
And we'll be back up
Today.
to a complement of 4.
Yeah, we'll be back up to our main stable of 4.
Oh, so Choco asks, when you guys write
Notes?
stuff, is it just notes for yourself to keep track of stuff, or does it have an in-game use?
It has an in-game use. Anything you write down, I count as your character's memory, you remembering who you've interacted with, because you can't really see these people and you can't see them often, so writing down notes shows me that they're interested enough in paying attention to what NPC did what and who's important in the story
And
going
then
on.
outside of that as well, Tiff is actually keeping a log of what happens throughout the story, because we found that to be extremely helpful, and she likes doing it.
Yeah. Because well, go ahead.
No, you do
No,
it.
I don't know. Why did you keep talking? Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Well, so we had a whole first campaign where I didn't take any notes, and like my memory is kind of like spotty. So like if I don't write things down, I don't remember it. So like our first campaign, I really don't remember that much.
Also, we had a computer explode and lost
Yeah.
all history,
And
data, everything of that campaign.
So
which-
to kind of keep myself remembering, I write down everything pretty much, but also it's kind of helped with some stuff because like sometimes we'll be like, did this happen, or like was I there for that? Because like I separate my notes kind of like weird
we are
and detailed.
we are located in Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City, and we play every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Las Vegas time, which is Pacific time usually.
Yeah, PST, PDT. But,
Whatever.
yeah, 7 to 10 is usually our game time, and then the last 30 minutes we do a talk back.
And then on Mondays, our DM does a Monster Hunter stream, and starting soonish, my builder friend he's going on vacation, the jerk, he's going on a fucking cruise. I am building a new computer because my computer's a potato. So when I get that new computer built, I'm going to start streaming, and there's a bunch of stuff that I want to stream. I might stream Binding of Isaac, I'm terrible at it. I might stream some Subnautica. I have a whole laundry list of games I've wanted to play through, but some of them I wanted to play through for the first time on a stream
Yeah,
with,
I have a lot
because
of
I feel like that genuine reaction of the first time is what I look for when I go to Twitch. I'm like, I want to see some idiot just ruining everything and trying to figure out mechanics I know really well, and I enjoy doing that. So I want to bring that to Twitch. I think that the new gamer is always more fun to watch than the seasoned one. So
Monster Hunter Monday.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Monday.
So I do Monster Hunter Mondays, 6 to 9, and then I do. we do this-
Mondays.
Yeah.
Someday,
No, now you
man.
have to choose alliances.
No,
Whoa.
Can
no.
I'm also looking at doing some streams in the morning as well in the future,
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up after I move. We're in the process of moving, so there might be a week we go down and then come back up when we're done with that. But hopefully that'll be situated. We won't have that problem.
Yeah. Also, all of the episodes of this campaign and some of the previous.
Oh,
We got a follower.
Thanks, man.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Is that PB and Jotter?
Yes, it is.
Thanks so much for the follow, buddy. Welcome, and I hope you
PB
have
and
fun.
Jotter.
Additionally, a lot of these episodes, most of them, are available
On YouTube.
on YouTube. Keep in mind that when we started, we had no clue what we were doing. We were setting up cameras poorly. We had
Yeah.
it's all over the place. Even this current setup is relatively new.
Yeah, this is just
this
a test.
yeah, it's
See what we like.
We're working through it, and hopefully we'll have a little more space in the future.
Yeah.
So it's just we're set up in a living room right now. Like
How
that's
long?
where we're at.
How long does it take to make a character? A couple seconds.
But it
Okay.
depends, really.
So I started running a game for a couple friends of mine, and when they were making their characters, because they've never played, 2 of them have never played, and 1 has played 4th edition. It took 4 hours because, like, we started at
They were
midnight.
all druids.
No, so we started at midnight, and then at 4 in the morning, we had to we're gonna have to play in the morning. So as soon as we woke up, we started playing.
We've
If
also
you
had-
type in !class, it should bring up a list of all the characters and what they're
Try
playing.
that out.
We're using all of the current source books except one player, the gentleman with the head wrapping. He is playing a homebrew class for this campaign setting, which is called the Chimera.
Is it updated with Lucrezia?
Yes, it is. So it reads through. Obviously, not everyone was here today, but Ben's right here, the Modron Thief, and then Lucrezia is here with the Kensai Monk.
Head wrap.
Andy was the head wrap. He was playing the Chimera, and then Zongak unfortunately is dead.
Yeah, Zongak
and
passed
Rashid is not going to be with us for the foreseeable future, so he might be in and out randomly.
Also,
But
there's a way to set that up so it sends as a block of text into a whisper, so
yeah.
you don't have to put a limiter on it, and anyone can do it, and they
Yeah,
have it
so.
for
I
themselves.
guess you can guess the only one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me. I don't know what you're talking about. Soul Roast. Man.
Are you sure? I mean, I
Um,
get confused all the time.
I can tell you about my notes though.
The notes are meant as a backup because
Okay.
my computer fried when we were playing the last campaign, so all of my campaign notes from that
It was
long
a lightning strike, and it was terrifying.
my computer arced and then wiped all my stuff. That's my wife's name too. Oh, there you go.
Nice. That's a good name.
It's okay.
Tiff.
I mean, I don't like it.
Weapon.
What weapon?
That weapon.
Oh
It's
yeah.
called the Axe of Oganish. It's the Axe of
My first
OG
character was a monk, and it is still my favorite.
Okay.
SH.
Oh,
The Axe of Oganish.
I know that, but what was the? You spelled Organish, but
OGANSH.
Oh, you almost had it.
that's always
You put
the
too many
case.
vowels in there.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Uh,
We can do this after.
What kind of gear does she have?
kind of gear does your monk have?
You're like,
what you got?
what's my
she's
inventory?
wearing, she's
Yeah.
wearing light armor. You're using what's your monk weapon? Your Kensei monk weapon.
I have no armor.
Borrowed hammer.
I used to have a warhammer named Crush, but I gave it to somebody to hold, and then
Somebody. Earl
we-
of Black Belt.
yeah, but in case he doesn't know. And then
Baroness.
so we were
A
escorting.
baroness.
We were escorting a baroness, a dignitary, and she had a hammer that does other stuff, and she let me borrow it. So
Besides
it's
rings of protection.
I don't think she
And,
has any armor. Shouldn't have any armor.
no, I have no armor. But my AC is falling.
Still higher than mine.
Yeah, yes, my AC is 17, and then I have an ability that I can use the weapon, so it's 19.
Oh, to have an AC that high.
But yeah, and so I'm just like wearing regular clothes, and then I don't have any magical weapons except for Barrel's hammer right now.
What is a hammer called?
What level are we? We are all level 5 at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recently, like we haven't even gotten
yeah,
used
we
to
They
level
just
stuff.
leveled up.
We just
so
popped
So
up,
we
yeah.
leveled up and then went unconscious. Well, and we
Well,
had that
some
time,
of us
yeah.
went unconscious.
I would definitely recommend watching the previous episode. It was absolutely
Last
anarchy.
episode, at the very least, because it's nuts.
Yeah, it starts in a landslide and then continues. in a land- Actually, if you started 2 episodes ago, that'd be even better because
Yeah.
that one was
A lead up.
that was the lead up that went to level 5, and then all hell broke loose after that.
It really
Last
is.
episode wasn't exactly like fun. I'm sure isn't going to be
That
exactly
was,
fun to watch.
Yeah, in
No
the
way.
Discord,
Yeah.
he posted the "This is fine."
Yeah, this is
because
fine.
that
meme.
was what it felt like.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on all mage-like classes?
I am a fan. I love spellcasting classes. They have such versatility in the game. Don't get me wrong. The standard fighter and the fighter, barbarian, paladin, those are great. But spellcasting classes, I feel like just have such flavor to them.
my first
Yeah.
character was a wild magic
Sorcerer.
and I had a lot of fun playing him just because I think the randomness really adds to it, and sometimes it can happen better than you can imagine it. Like the
Yeah.
dice can lead you, the random rolls. I grew like 6 inches over that campaign because of my wild magic, just because random ass rolls,
Yeah.
and I became a
Kept getting
twisted
taller and
freak,
stuff.
which was amazing. We all turned blue for a bit,
Yeah,
Earlier in the campaign, I was a magic caster, and
and
this,
they
in
made
this
their
one.
cannons.
they really are.
But then my character went and did some stuff. So she adopted some things.
She
Anyway,
got pregnant
but-
with purpose.
But I don't know. The thing
She
I
made
like
a
about
promise.
magic casting is like you have to, like you have kind of more options because you have to like plan when you can do stuff and like how you can do stuff. But like with fighter, or like fighting classes, you're like, oh, I can
I'm
hit
going to
this,
fight
or
it.
like what am I gonna hit next? But like on the ship, that would have been cool. I would have been just like, hey, because I had Featherfall before, so I could be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, everyone just jump off and we'll land in the water just fine. So
I think some people have intention of multiclassing, but I don't know. Do you have intentions of multiclassing? in the
I
future?
made multi-classes like a cleric.
I
Maybe
was
closer to my
just
god.
talking with him about this, about multi-classing into fighter, so I could get action surge, and then
Punch more people, more times.
also to maybe do like martial stuff. I took the feat martial adept, so I have like 2 martial abilities I can do right now. So
Thief
I'm like,
/ bard! Exclamation point.
Well, Bard is the most overpowered class in 5e.
I don't know if you could be a bard.
Bard.
I could be a Bard. My singing doesn't have to be good.
Well, you have to have
There's
at
a
least,
lot of
like,
kinds of
15
Bard. I could be a tumbler.
You have
could
to bump
be
this
a-
up to like
I'm
15,
round.
though, to-
I don't need any charisma. I can do a flat 0 charisma
Well,
of Bard.
To multi-class, you have to have a certain score.
I pull charisma out of my ass.
You're like, you know what? You're like, I can just be like.
I feel like if Theta was charismatic, it would
You have
ruin
no
his
names
character.
But if you want to know
I
about
know, not
each magic
anymore.
class,
I fixed that.
my favorite is Wizard, because Wizard is amazing. Each one of its schools is fantastic. Warlock is a close second. Cleric is up there. I mean, fuck, they're all good. Druid, Cleric,
And
they're
Honestly,
all fantastic.
I played a throwaway character, Divination
Yeah,
Wizard.
that was cool.
And that was, we were doing a campaign, and they were like, oh, pick a character, and I was like, I'll be a wizard, and I looked through, and everybody wants to be an evocation wizard, because it gives you a lot of
Blows
boost.
stuff up.
Yeah, and I looked at it, I was like, I want to be something nobody ever picks.
Or were
around
you
me.
like, this is garbage, this is
I was
garbage.
like, this is the garbage class, and I'm going to play it for what it's worth. He's going to be a coward, and he's not going to do anything. And then we found out that divination wizards are stupidly powerful because they have, like, luck, but it's predetermined from the beginning of the day, and you can do some awesome
And it
things
affects
with
the
it.
enemy, too.
And you can use it for anything you can see. It can be an ability check, it can be a saving throw, it can be an attack roll, it can be a healing check, or not a healing check, it has to be a d20,
Yeah.
but anything that's a d20 that you can see, you can choose. Anybody. You, the enemy,
You just have to
that
say it
king,
before.
his advisor, like you,
Yeah.
it is pervasive when it comes to storytelling, and it's awesome. Like,
Um,
I got so excited to roll my 2 d20s at the beginning of
Yeah.
every day, and it was so cool.
When you're first, you're like, this is a garbage ability.
Yeah, I was
So
like,
then you're
that
like,
was
oh, it's a
garbage.
low number. Oh, that's not good. And then you're like, wait,
Wait
I
a
can use it
minute.
on
Wait,
my
I
other
can
A
people.
use
one?
that
Alright,
for
I'll
somebody.
take it.
I use mine.
I think
I
one
can
time
use
you
that
had
on
like
my
a
friends.
19 and like
Yeah.
a 1 or something.
Yeah. That was like the best day.
Well, plus-
19 to 1.
With like all the new books that are out, like the source books, like they've expanded some of the classes, so it's cool.
Agreed.
Like some of the magic stuff you can do now.
Necromancer.
Well, yeah, but that's a classic. But I mean, like now they have like the sports.
It's not as powerful as it used to be, but it's still fun.
Different kinds of wizards and stuff.
Abjuration's fun. Divination's fun. Enchantment's fun.
What's the new wizards they have?
War Wizard
War
is the
Wizard.
only one.
Wait,
and it's
isn't
fun.
there 2? Alright, and then I was
Just
playing Lore, which was they took out.
Love how enthusiastic you guys are about your homebrew world. That's encouraging. Dude, this world's the best thing in the world. It's-
in the literal world.
He, like,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
he
yeah.
picked up DMing. Basically, we ran a game with one of our characters, Zongak wasn't here, his uncle, wanted to play D&D with people and didn't have anybody to play with. So we played on Roll20. He was in Ohio.
Yeah.
Is in Ohio. And so we were here, and so we all set up on our computers, and we set up Roll20. It took forever to get us into it. Once we got into it, it was great. And we played on Roll20, and we played we called it 1.5
So
men,
light.
because
Yeah.
we were a gnome, a dwarf, and a halfling.
Yep.
And we had a lot of fun. There's some holdover jokes from that pop up every once in a while.
Yeah. Shenanigans.
Fucking stairs.
Cloacas.
But in Cloacus.
But his was from the book, right?
Yeah, he was
it-
playing.
yeah.
We were playing Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, and so we played that, and from that, like, because we all approached it like this would be a dumb thing that we do, it'd be stupid and nerdy and this, and we liked it so much that Soul here decided to be a DM and decided to start writing things, and he went into a writing coma for a little while
Really?
and made. Oh yeah, you should
know
have
that.
seen him when he started ripping out this world.
Yeah.
He didn't talk about anything other than it.
Oh,
And he was like, I found a new thing. I'm in a new city. This and that. And when we first established the world, because this was super cool, this was something that really drew me in. We all had characters. We decided who our characters were going to be, and we decided what race they were going to be. And he had a blank map. And he was like, here's a main city. There's a main city over here, kind of, too. You decide what region your character comes from. You draw up the topography of that region, any kind of buildings, and you decide what kind of law, what kind of rules, what kind of people those people
yeah, that was
are,
the first
and
one.
you make your hometown. That way, when we go to your hometown, you know about it. I don't know about it. You know about it, so you have that ability to explain it to other people. And then as we went through, we went to pretty much everybody's hometown
Yeah. At
and
some
got to
point.
have some sort of adventure there. And that person got to take the lead away from the DM a little bit and really explain what the place was like. And I thought that was a really cool way to incorporate the characters into the world building aspect and honestly make his life easier, because then he didn't have to come up with weird names and types of buildings
Just gotta draw a map.
Yeah. or steal them.
Yeah.
So everyone has ownership. Absolutely. Divination's really cool. Gypsy
It was a lot of
is
fun,
really
and I always tell, like, I would let them come up with as much as they wanted, and I would say, but I retain the right to have you remember it incorrectly, because we all kind of like jade, rose-colored glasses.
romanticize.
Yeah.
Yeah, we romanticize our areas no matter what, and so there was some kind of like I would play with some of those a little bit, but it was a lot of fun. There was a lot, and now all those things are still in the current world.
The-
It's all still there.
The first world also was like a lot smaller, right? Because it was in a bubble.
It's-
Yeah, it's not that anymore.
Yeah, but
That
I
was
mean,
that was away. So
our first
just
world was
keep
small.
it, because I wanted to do more, but I didn't want to overwhelm myself.
What's the toughest monster you faced so far? All right. So in our original campaign, there was a staircase, And the staircase
Well,
is a very simple mechanic. And
with Bill's campaign.
yeah,
Yeah.
with the original, first time we played, I played once in high school and it was terrible because our DM sucked. And after that, 10 years later,
What about the?
no, more than 10 years later, what?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, we were going into this hidden dungeon. It was written into a book. There's a set of stairs, and the stairs had a very simple mechanic. The mechanic was straightforward. You had to know the mechanic to go up the stairs easily. If you knew it, you had no problem. If you didn't know it, you had to roll a d20. If you rolled even, you walked up the stairs. If you rolled odd, you fell down the stairs. We couldn't roll an even number to save our lives. And these weren't dice. This was a random number generator on Roll20. And we must have rolled 4 or 5 times a piece trying to get up these stairs in a hurry. And couldn't. We could not make it up. To the point where our dwarf pulled out climbing gear and climbed the wall next to the stairs and threw a rope down to get us up. And my sorcerer said no. And I must have rolled another 10 times before I made it up those stairs. It was, to our DM's, at his discretion, it was so hilarious watching that group of little people fall down the stairs. The 2 guards at the top were at disadvantage because they were pissing themselves laughing at us.
so hard at us.
I'm trying to think of other campaigns though where like, well,
The first campaign we did, the hardest monster you guys fought. Oh, that's simple. That's the easiest
what
thing
was
in
it?
the
I
world.
can't remember.
It was fucking 2 frost giants
Yeah.
that almost wiped the party.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
I had them going through this
Oh, it's just supposed to
mountainside.
be
It was
a
a
little
random
fight.
a random encounter. They encountered. I
'Cause
had
they
built it
made
up. There
like
was
a-
frost giants nearby, and they didn't like people in their territory, and they had to go through their territory in
remember
order to
that
get to the
really well.
boss. So they were heading
I
to
remember
the
it now,
boss.
yeah.
Which is supposed to be a hiccup.
A hiccup. So originally there was 5 of them, because according to, you do the math out in the little DM's guide, and it said that was a good encounter. 5 of them. But I was going to do 2, and then 3 more come in. The 2 come in, and the party encounters them, and I'm like, alright, they're just going to rinse through these guys, and we'll get to the boss battle, and they'll have a little bit nicked out of them, and that's it, right? And then, for whatever reason, they couldn't hit the guys, and the guys were just landing everything, and it was like 3d10,
Boulders.
3d10,
and- yeah.
4d10, and all of a sudden the fight started to go very south, so I left the 3 in the wings, like, hidden, and I was like, oh man, nope, just these guys, and then it was like this harrowing battle, and they ended up coming out on top, but like, people were down,
Before
and
Before
people were
that, did we
unconscious.
wipe
Barely.
something like we like
The Rakshasa.
Yeah, we
No, no,
wiped
yeah.
the Rakshasa like nobody's
So then-
business.
No, so then, they rest up, and they go to the boss battle, and the boss battle was way harder, so I was
Yeah.
freaking out, thinking that I was like, man, maybe this is way harder.
Kill them.
It was a monk and a Rakshasa. It was a female monk and a Rakshasa that they were fighting, and they just whooped his ass.
In like 2 rounds.
Like, yeah, they killed him so fast, and then he went invisible to run away, and on the board, the cleric that they had, who was one of our DMs previously, he just pinged a spot on the map and said, I'm gonna cast lightning bolt right here, or lightning
This direction.
something.
It was lightning bolt that direction, and it was a
And it was just fucking right at him. It zapped him, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, he couldn't even get away.
Just-
it was the most ludicrous thing.
And
Alright,
then
oh
this
crap,
thing-
that reminds me, one time a DM had a tower setup that was basically a Chutes and Ladders map that was so maddening because we couldn't figure out how it worked.
That is amazing.
Yeah, DM's Guide to Encounters Presumed Solid Players, I feel like.
I mean,
Yeah, it was,
Well,
I don't know. It was just a series of good and bad rolls all combined. It was just crazy. I was like, this is the most, but it turned from like, oh, hi.
I mean,
this is just
most of
gonna
the
be-
time, too, the hardest things we run into are random encounters. The party of lizards we fought before
Yeah.
almost took us down
I'm trying
pretty
to
hard.
think
We got
if-
lucky
which
with
was
a
harder,
petrify. And the fucking hurricane
That was fun.
almost ruined us. Like,
That was
legitimately, it was just a storm, but it was severe
Yeah,
weather.
that
He
was
rolled
cool.
for it. It just randomly came up as rolled for it.
It did.
And it put we were several levels of exhaustion in a piece.
I'm feeling. I don't know if I can't. Like I don't
Almost
know. If,
lost
like,
a guard that was traveling with us.
Yeah.
I don't know if this last fight was harder than the lizard fight, because a lot of us went.
I feel like the lizard fight was harder because they retreated. They had us up on the ropes and they continued on.
Yeah, but this one like nobody retreated. They
Are you
were-
talking about the
They
ghost
would've-
captain?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
not
pretty-
just the ghost captain, but even
pretty
after
brutal
that,
fight.
like I mean,
Ghost Captain with
because
support
we had a lot of
skeletons.
people go down
And then rolling right through that into that fight with the. Yeah.
with a fucking mimic, which yeah.
That was the whole point of the fucking
Yeah.
whole thing, was the mimic ship. So, that was fun.
Good night. Thank you for checking us out.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday.
toodaloo.
See you next Tuesday, hopefully.
Oh, who dat?
No,
Another guess.
it's very like linked.
But yeah, overall, I think weirdly enough, I think those two giants were for some reason the hardest encounter I think we've ever had. Just shenanigans.
But which fight do you think was harder, the lizard one or this last one?
Between the two?
Yeah.
As a combo, I'll say that this last one was harder just because so much health. Like, we didn't... I mean, if more of the cannon salvos had landed...
Oh, you mean the
If you had convinced the crew to get off their asses and participate, and had Rashid doing it, theoretically you should have been able to win in 3 rounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it...
You the cannons dealt 8d10 of 500.
I remember that, yeah.
So if you would have had a couple,
No.
So when you say homebrew campaign, you mean the story is homebrew, the setting, the races and classes, or the rules?
the homebrew, the setting is homebrewed. The story is completely homebrewed. One of the classes is homebrewed.
Some of the
And
rules.
some of the rules are also homebrewed. I don't. I use a lot of the rules as written. I just try to because it makes life easier. But now I create my own bosses now. I don't use the ones in the book anymore because I find that they don't encapsulate or they're not balanced right. We did roll for stats for everybody,
Yep.
and because of the way that they roll, they're crazy high.
Some of them.
Except for our character that is now AWOL, missing, had negative charisma.
Or negative constitution.
Constitution.
Yes.
Negative
Yeah.
constitution, which, if you're ever playing D&D, never have a negative constitution.
Well,
It makes your
yeah.
entire life terrible.
we got to pick when we first rolled. We got to roll a couple times and then pick where they went, and then but he didn't know not to put
Not
that.
to make it a dump stat.
Yes.
And, ooh, that's a learning experience.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, we had 3 players with an AC of over 17.
Yeah.
So an encounter that normally would be a challenge for a group of this setting
Yeah.
can't hit 3 out of 5 at the time.
Oh, Celianis was low.
So
Celiana
because of that, the balance system just doesn't work right.
Well,
with
that and,
challenge ratings.
I don't know. In general, we're
Roll for stats to
having
get
that.
absurd.
Yeah, it got crazy, and I don't mind it actually. I like it a little bit more. I like the heroic
randomness.
aspect. Yeah, I'm just a fan of the classic heroic feeling because standard array makes you kind of feel like you're worthless to start. I feel like it, and it's not always if you
I agree
min
with what you're
max.
saying, yeah.
If you min max, you can end up with a 17 in a stat, and that's great. That's
Did
the
we roll
highest. But
for Lucrezia, or did we use standard array?
we roll.
We rolled, because it's the same way that Theta got his.
Well,
So
no,
I have a new way of
Celiana,
doing it
we
now that
all did
I learned my
together, but
lesson.
Then when I brought her in,
I
I
have a
can't
new way to-
remember if we did that. or not.
To roll stats. But ultimately, yeah, I like the heroicness of it. But with that comes slightly more, and it kind of is more punishing towards people that have a lower AC. But at the same time,
It really is, let me tell you.
yeah, you just can't. I mean,
I have the lowest AC here. I
the
think.
option is to let an enemy miss Theta a lot, or deal no damage the entire encounter. So
Yeah.
basically, if I made an encounter and was like, all right, I'll use Theta's AC, he won't hit anyone. The encounter will never attack, land a hit. So I can't do that. I have to gauge it for the players that, the scale's been
And then
tipped.
I just have to be wily and remember to disengage and
Yeah.
dodge. Con is pretty important. I feel like HP is generally what makes your character stay alive,
Yeah.
which makes more sense than I thought it did before I said it.
That's all right.
Well, it's one of the
I
things you
know.
don't think about. You don't think
Yeah.
about Constitution being a good stat. You just kind of, when you're used to playing the game, you throw good numbers or a decent number into it. But then when you have a negative in your con, that means every time you roll when you level up, you lose stats.
Plus, it affects a lot of stuff. It affects your sometimes
Your
your
dash,
dexterity,
your swimming, your
Yeah.
breath holding, your
Yeah,
ability
all
to
that.
carry shit.
Endurance.
Constitution is, oh my gosh.
I don't know, because I feel like AC, I mean, the hit points, if you can, dodge a lot of shit, then, I feel like AC can be kind of more important. But then once you get hit by, one thing, then yeah.
Yeah, you'd be a glass cannon.
So Theta.
Oh, me.
I can't get in.
You just point
What kind
down
of
and
rogue
over.
are you?
I am a Modron rogue. I'm a thief. We're at level 5. I don't know if that helps you much, but yeah. So I'm technically
he's a homebrew race.
race. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I am technically a homebrew race.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I heard of
listed in some web pages. It's not really listed as a race for you to play.
You can get a
Any of the
token.
guides. Yeah, there's we have minis too. We have lots. Actually, our gnome our goblin who passed away in game. Not for real.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
that
not
mistake.
here.
He paints minis in his spare time, so we have minis of the things we've fought, and he does a phenomenal job of it. You can't really see it in this light on this camera, but they look pretty good. And we do post these in our sub-only Discord. There's a whole channel for them, and we're terrible about posting them, but we're trying to be better.
Right.
And then,
There's a follower Discord too.
But I'm a
it's in the
Modron.
link.
It's a little robot that runs around. They usually have wings. My guy doesn't have wings because the wings don't do anything and they look stupid.
is his
Um,
token?
Should be in there.
So, oh yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen a Modron, yeah, I mean you're watching Twitch.
I mean,
You
I
can
didn't
Google
know
it.
fucking movie.
Uh,
So.
I'm
We
not
got a little
gonna dig
mini
through that. There's a whole. Yeah,
Aw,
you can
it's
do that
not
thing. Yeah, I mean, sure, it's in there.
I
There's
thought
a
it was
lot
like
of
on top. I'm
compartments.
surprised it's not on top.
I mean, I'm sure it's on top in one of the 100 compartments.
Surprisingly loud.
Hey,
Modron.
so this is a Modron. This is just a basic,
But
straight up Modron.
Usually
right
usually
here.
they
Yeah,
have
that's
wings,
good. Yeah, usually they have wings, but they're mostly like vestigial.
but his
One
doesn't.
eye in the middle, and
Like Mike Wazowski.
yeah, like Mike Wazowski, very
Of
similar,
metal.
but made of metal. And so,
Hey,
hey, look, here we go. We got Mike Wazowski. We got a stand-in.
He's technically a
That's-
Modron. he's
That
just
was
not
our
colored.
that was
He's
our
not
until
metal.
we got a Modron mini. That
Yeah.
was our stand-in mini.
It worked.
3 players. We usually have 4.
We used to
usually
usually have
have
5.
We usually have
Until
we
today.
used to have like 10.
We used to have 9 players and a DM. Yeah, that was
So-
back in the day.
But people
But that
changed
was-
jobs, people moved, so we
And
lost.
I mean,
a
if
bunch.
you're an adult, you understand how hard it is
Yeah.
to get a group of adults together on a similar day every week and for several hours and try to get something together. That was the hardest thing for us. I basically told my boss, "Yo, I don't work Tuesday
Yeah,
nights."
same here.
Like, and then when he schedules me, I call in sick and go, "Oh no, I'm sick with need free time."
I'm a human variant Kensei Modron. It's
Yep.
fine.
Yeah, Modron.
At one point, we did have 9 players. Actually, if you go into the history of our
It's
YouTube, our
insane.
first game we played on stream together for a little while. We played maybe 10
I
episodes
know
or
you took a
something.
lot of those down though.
No, they're all there. You can actually see the original 9 people. There was a lot of people. And
One
I
of them
kind
was
of
a
want. I wish
computer.
we still had them.
One was
Honestly,
a-
I wish we had the whole group. That'd be fun.
I don't
Nice.
like.
It's
a
nice
lot
to have
of
a big
players.
group. I think it's harder on
I
you
like
though.
it. It is. It's a pain in the ass. But
But
it's
you got to
fun.
make time for everyone in the group, and then you split that 9 ways over 3 hours.
Yeah. I know the feeling. But now we have steady 4. The only reason that we're down to 3 today was because one player character died last session, so I wanted to give some time to bring them back in with a new character. I didn't want to just be like, "Oh, your buddy died. Here's a new buddy."
Yeah, actually, this character, this is the second time this player's character has
Yeah.
died.
In this
The
campaign.
first time we got him back, and then he left because he was like, "No."
Yeah, I mean he wasn't supposed to be like that.
So we've had actually a surprising amount of deaths in this game.
That's what
Yeah,
you just said.
Yana.
Keeping it up.
Yeah.
Really gonna keep it going.
Zongak, Nadril. Maybe that's it so far. I mean, but we didn't have any deaths in the last one, so
Yeah, that's true.
about
Wait,
that.
It was a
But like
sacrifice.
somebody
That's
had
it.
said recently, like low level campaigns, that's typical. Like they're usually bloody. They're usually like you have a lot of deaths because it's like low level. So like
Yeah, once
You
you
don't
hit
have the
higher levels,
resources,
it's easier to.
Punch
yeah.
out your
Find
weight
ways.
class.
yeah. And then eventually like if you have a cleric, as you get higher, it definitely
Yeah, that's
is, like,
that's one of the
obsolete.
things that really helps us is that we don't have a healer. So that's what makes all the fights way more exciting.
Yeah.
And by exciting, I mean terrifying.
Perilous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say eventually the game becomes Dragon Ball
Good
Z.
for
if you have that.
RP2 to have the player miss one session so they can better play the new
I mean-
to the group part. Yeah.
I didn't know that low levels were super deadly till recently. And then I read some stuff where like some similar events happened with like other streams, and they're like, yeah, like low level is no joke, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know, because I don't know, we didn't have that problem last
Well, I mean,
campaign.
either that or you got fetch missions or you have really underpowered monsters. She's looking to buy in a healer's kit. Yeah, but
I have
healer's kit
one.
just
All of them
stabilizes people
stabilize,
that are
yeah.
down. It doesn't actually get you up unless you have a feat, and you got to sacrifice a lot to take a feat. Like I got so many better feats to take.
Yeah, I
For
had a
me-
healer's kit, and I used it on the guy who is dead now.
Yep.
Before he went down, then
We got him back up
yeah.
with a healing potion.
yeah.
The last healing potion that we had.
Yeah.
And then he distracted a group of skeletons so we could escape. And I realized afterwards, in my panic, I had a moment to grab Zongak. And I could have, because I could have disengaged
But it
as a
makes
bonus
sense,
action. But I literally didn't think of it when I jumped off
There's
the
a
ship.
lot
It
of
was just
panic
self-preservation.
last session.
There was some shenanigans went down.
Yeah.
But it kind of is perfect for the character though, because it's like the actual panic.
Yeah.
That's rough. That was a rough session.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what we're gonna call it. Though. I think that's it. I think we're gonna be out for today. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed.
I did want to address something with
it's-
the DM thing.
It's in parentheses AIZAKG. You work on that one.
I like your.
So Izakig, maybe.
I don't want to butcher.
Tell me I'm butchering it.
Oh.
I'm happy to butcher it.
I've TPK'd my players twice, and
I'm a mega softy DM. Both times on
did
the
that
starter
too.
set for D&D, one of them was merely an enemy who saw the players roll highest initiative and then fireballed them all to death. It'll happen.
Well, thanks.
Thanks.
I hope you enjoy. We do have a follower Discord if you're interested in hanging out and talking with us. I'm in that one. These guys are in the sub Discord, along with the pictures and stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, but even without, you can chat with some of the other guys that are in there. There's only a few right now. It's in the channel description, so if you just want to tell anybody and have them throw in there, feel free.
Yay!
Yeah. Thanks so much for the follow, buddy.
I did want to address two things really quick. Back to what we were saying about enemy thing. I DM and I used to DM in the past for the same people.
We had
But
three
what I
rotating
do
DMs, which
is
is
I
pretty
go to a website that I'll put in the player characters level and like how many there are, and it
Is
just
it
spits
Cobalt
out
Fight
enemies.
Club?
Yeah, Cobalt Fight Club. It's really cool if you haven't seen it. But the problem is like, even if it's like geared toward our level or to your player's level, like
Sometimes
certain
the
abilities.
dice are against
Yeah,
you.
like if they have extra attack, like 3 attacks, and the players only have like 1 or 2, that could tip things, and also some of their abilities. So like sometimes like to softy DM, I'll like take like whole abilities out that they can't use. So like it just depends on what the enemy can do. I feel like that kind of. So like we were saying that you don't think that like the CR rating is really balanced or whatever.
No,
We always
sorry.
welcome that.
Yeah.
We love
Hang
talking
out,
about
ask all
D&D.
kinds of questions, chat it up with us.
Yeah,
We're
and
always
then
down.
the second thing I want to say is you said before like a good DM is hard to find, and I think like it takes like a lot of balancing of like their style, but also like what they'll allow, and like if the narrative is more important than what the players are doing, because like there's so many different styles of DM. And whatever,
Yeah.
so.
All right. For that, we're going to take off. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. And we will see you next Monday. Well, I'll see you guys next Monday for Monster Hunter Monday. There may be a surprise stream coming this week.
Ooh.
I will let you guys not know, and then I'll surprise you with it.
Just in case it doesn't happen.
And I'll put it on Discord, and it'll be on Twitter and stuff like that. So if that's something you're interested, come hang out then for Monster Hunter. We'll have some fun. But I'm in a different
Oh yeah, is it the
stream,
best
you know.
place they can find you is like Twitter for announcements and
Twitter, Discord, those are probably the only places that I'm really good at updating.
Liberal use of the @ button helps because then it puts notifications on and those help.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna take away. So,
Thanks for watching. Thanks for following us.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button here.